In the late years of the 1930s, we were witness to our world gripped in the first agonies of invasion and war. No section of the earth seemed free from these terrors, or from the nightmares of what was to come. Nightmares that for the first time were brought vividly into every home by the force of a new medium, radio.
Tonight on Time for the Show, Dr. Fox begs for your money as Hypercube is broke. Zero. You hear me? Nothing. Nada. We got absolute zero here. So strap on your stupid. It's another Time for the Show. Broadcasting live from Subbasement 27 in the heart of the Hypercube in the future capital of some other person's joke. This is Time for the Show. I'm your host, Dr. Fox. You can join me live by visiting timefortheshow.com, clicking the Discord button, and getting in on the Hypercom. We are simulcasting tonight over YouTube and freethinkradio.com. And I don't hear the background music. I don't know where the background music went. And I can hear it over there. Why can't I hear it over here?
Time for the background music, Dr. Fox.
Where's my background music? There it is! Oopsies! I got it.
Oopsie poopsie.
Oh, wow. And we got the security feed going live. So without further ado, let's see what's going on inside the Hypercom. Hello, Hypercom. This is Dr. Fox. Do you read me?
Correct.
Okay, Peas is here. Say hi, Peas.
Hello, Peas.
Wow, Peas, I didn't think you were going to make it tonight, but yet once again, by the skin of your urethra, which is kind of difficult to say, you made it. And boy, howdy and a half, am I happy that you're here. We're just re-engaging.
You're welcome.
The new, so we're on the fly tonight, folks. This is every chance that we've got, and so you can.
This is all of the technology running. This is every computer core is maxed out at 97%. The temperature in here is like 137 C. You know, nothing is rated for this, and we are pushing it to absolute capacity.
We got to get right to show.
Oh, we have to wait for it to come back through, right? Is that the idea? Tonight, folks. This is
the idea.
Every chance that we've got.
Because if you guys remember,
now I can hear myself.
This is all of the technology. I think we're stuck in a time loop. Every computer core is
already.
This is a time loop. 7%.
We're encountering.
The temperature in here is like 137. Already, you've got a stack overflow is rated for this, and we are pushing to every bit has been accounted for.
Up until this point, I've been warning you.
The next thing you know,
is coming, and
that's the idea.
So now I have to. Now I can hear myself.
How the heck is this working, Dr. Fox? It's like a time loop.
I just got here. It's like some sort of time loop or something.
Is this a time loop?
And we're only a few minutes
already.
into the show.
It's already a time loop.
In the area, it seems that
every single bit.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
and look at
every
that.
bit and every byte is accounted for and cycling through the register.
This is rough.
There's not a single bit available left in the computing power and all of Hypercom for all of this.
I mean, all the parity bits are accounted for.
But yeah, we seem to be
Dr. Trench is here.
And live. Yes, we have Dr. Trenchy of the Sub-Gs in here, Caller 23 in the studio, Reverend Codeine in the studio, and various other anonymous robots. Anomalous robots, really. The other way around. Strike it. Reverse it. And, yeah, sure, why not? I can do this one on a camera, because this is just tobacco, folks.
Vape the shit out of that. Just vape it.
Are you there, Pete?
Vape it good.
What's going on, buddy?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no. Excellent. So I'm excited. Go fuck yourself. So I'm excited
You're welcome.
because as you remember last week's show, you weren't on last week's show because
No.
you were on a secret odyssey.
Yes, I was.
In our Hypercube Go submarine, Hypercube 1, and as I led everybody to believe, you would come back and enthrall us with the series of adventures that you must have had
Absolutely.
while you were on that secret mission.
I did.
So
I was able to
gotta
hear
get on
the
with
show. I did jump
What'd you think?
on to the intercom after the show to check in.
Yeah.
And boy, howdy and a half, do I tell you, do I think we got something that's finally not just something to put on to the bonus content, but something that's worth putting it on instead of me just flooding it with tons of post shows.
Yada,
A post
yada,
show
yada, yada, yada.
That was absolutely worth it. So we'll be looking into that.
It was a
But
pretty good post
the
show.
main podcast, which was the I guess the initial run of Lawrence P's Tonight live.
Well,
It
little bit.
seemed
Is that
to,
right,
I'll tell
Peas?
you what, Peas. On a scale of 0 to 100, does that sound fair? On a scale of 0 to 100, I would
scale.
definitely place you in double digits.
well, that's kind of you.
I know. I'm in a good mood. You know
So,
what I'm
but
saying?
Here's the thing, though.
I've got my
Here's-
coffee. I got my
Got your-
vape.
Got your vape.
Got your vape.
We got the security feed rolling live.
you-
I have no idea if anybody can hear me over the security feed. If you can, let me know in the hypercom.
Yeah,
please,
type F
please, thanks.
for feed.
Yeah, there,
Yeah.
oh wow, I think we have a joke that we can keep using over and over and over again.
Listen,
fantastic.
concerned.
Hi, Peas.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about this feed because you
Chromelusion
guys are
Brothers.
all there. You're all there, so everybody can see you. But I am in a secret location in Nevada.
At 6428 Dobie Peak Drive.
Correct. But the thing about it is a lot of times people like to see the piece. So I feel like there should be some kind of portrait or picture there amongst you guys, so that as it's streamed, people still can see the visage of the piece.
Visage?
The visage.
Do you have a cream for that?
No, come on, man. It's
See,
it's
now
a
I have to
5-letter
change
word.
over. I don't have enough monitors. We're getting on to that. We're coming to that.
Yep.
To that. But now I have to
All
check
types.
over on the levels. And I'm blowing them out. I'm sorry, caller. I'm disrupting the waveforms.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. But we can hear caller. Isn't
Tonight,
that great?
can you?
Can you hear him, Peas?
RC23 is coming in.
In the
I
house.
thought I wasn't hearing him because it was just a short couple of seconds of speech, so I thought maybe
No,
the
yeah.
mic was cutting out.
You thought it
But
was
no,
the drugs
it's
kicking
actually,
in.
No, it's
It's
actually
me.
RC23.
It's
How
me.
you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, Peas?
I'm fair to meddling.
Wait, do you need a prescription for that?
I don't think so. I've
Maybe
got,
you're
my-
fentanyl meddling.
So I'm excited because
I feel
got a
like I'm
package.
dying. Happy episode 86, Peas.
86. We're
Yeah,
kicking it.
I think that's a good. Should we just kill the show now?
Yeah, time for the show is 86th.
We're done.
No,
It's
Here's
done.
the thing, though.
I'm
Here's
still
the thing,
going,
though.
but
If
everything
you
else.
remember
is
the
done.
old Get Smart television show, Agent 86?
No, that was way
now we're
over my
doing
head.
that show. Now we're doing that show, so it's almost like we're homaging to Don Adams and that
Homaging.
great homaging. It's a word.
That's a Chinese board game, isn't it?
Homaging. Now it's more Rondai.
Here's the obligatory. Make sure you talk right into that microphone.
Like this.
Little like that. I think he's on 3 there. We're just gonna master some levels here.
some
If you're
feminist
watching on the
or-
feed, you can actually see
Yep.
how frantic I am during the show. I'm going from one system to the next.
It's time for the sound check.
Oh man, already?
On the air.
We just made it. I got back from a trip to Central Europe to check in with Hypercube's most secretive of financiers. And I gotta tell you, they said on a scale of 0 to 100, I was
Double digits?
easily aiming for double digits in the
Easily.
productivity and tevity. The productivity, not to be confused with the other form, of how Time for the Show is going. And as you know, Peas, Time for the Show is an opportunity for all the hypercubists at home to be able to upgrade the firmware on their psychoustic crystals, as well as engaged.
Now is the time.
This is absolutely essential to the core functions of Hypercube. The core itself is dynamically powered through a drive engineered to run off of comedy waves, sea waves.
Fox,
Sea waves.
Cesium.
It's never been this easy.
Is what we
can
called
start
it.
applying hypercubism today and start reaping those benefits by being one of our journeymen.
Get in there,
course.
yeah. Now,
Yeah,
are you? Where are you on your journeyman ladder, Peas?
Well, first of all, kids, dear friends,
Viewers.
I think it's in.
Oh shit!
I think it's.
I can
Oopsie.
say viewers
Yep.
and
Oopsie.
not mean it
and not mean
in a
it. I can't.
dumb,
I still have to say
subgenius
listeners.
way.
I have to still say listeners.
You
There's
can.
no pork.
You should.
I should. I'm going to.
Yeah, so on a scale of 1 to Icarus, where are you on your journey to the sun of journeyman, Peas?
I don't think it's fair to say that because the knowledge that Pease has of hypercubism really spans the levels that they have. I work with Dr. Fox very closely in bringing
Exclusively.
this profound knowledge
Elusively.
to you, the people. So the journeyman
Write
is
that one
something
on
that
the
I
board,
would
please.
denote onto you as a student of hypercubism. But as I go about my own journey, I would have to say, I'm the Peas. It's kind of its own level. It's difficult to explain. I've tried to explain this before. If you didn't have a Peas, you'd have to invent one. But it's my job for now. And you shouldn't strive to try and be as cubed up hyperly as the Peas is, because it's not really humanly possible.
So you're saying not double digits.
A little bit closer.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
get up on in there.
All right. Perfect. All right. So
Yeah.
you're saying not double digits then.
Well, I'm saying that the question was, where am I in my Hypercube Journeyman journey? And I think that I'm beyond the double digits.
Yep.
I'm at that solid
No, it's-
100.
My real question
Out of,
on your
12
journey to
digits.
being a journeyman, are you Icarus flying too close to the sun? And have you gotten so close to the cube that
First of
your
all,
wings are melting?
Even in the triple digits,
That
Peas
you
is
think
really
that-
approaching the point of gathering the bees to make the wax to start forming
Yeah.
those wings.
It's the
First of
triple
all,
digits.
let's
It's
think
about
about
Icarus
3.55.
and your false belief that Icarus flew too close to the sun, and that's why his wax melted. First of all, I can't believe that you would fall for the real
For that
story.
hyperbole.
I just did air
Hyperbole.
quotes. You would see that if I was on the feed, but I'm not.
Chips and salsa.
Because the reality is, as we all know from being in airplanes and having, experiences of mankind behind us.
No, you're
it's
right.
much
You can never
colder.
get too close to the sun.
The closer you got, or the higher you got into the Earth's atmosphere, the colder it would actually get, to making the wax even harder and more indestructible from a flying with wax and feathers, mechanism.
Yep, because
So-
you're still on the pink land. You're in the land of pinks where it's still cold. Yeah, maybe on Earth it gets
upper
colder up there.
atmosphere sunbeams cannot melt shoulder wax.
I just want to make sure I'm on the same page
just
as
the
you.
reality of
You're saying you believe in airplanes.
I've seen them. I don't.
No, what
I don't
you've
really
seen
follow
are
or
very
believe
clearly government projected holograms created to make us
Birds?
believe in
them. Birds.
no, not birds.
No,
Government
holograms.
holograms. They're created to make us believe
Birds
in
are natural
chemtrails.
holograms.
So it's gonna be
Actually,
one of them
red
kinda-
coding brings up an excellent point. Birds aren't real either, but
If
that's a
that's-
different thing.
if it's
Those
gonna
aren't
be this
holograms.
That's
kinda
actually
show.
true.
Those are actually
If it's gonna be-
reflections off the hypercube.
If it's gonna be this kind of show, I'm gonna put my dick in the mashed potatoes.
Well, are you gonna?
Tracy Morgan, ladies and gentlemen.
He's like a
Famous-
glass man. You
Tracy
can't
Morgan.
even understand what he's saying.
Peas, you are the mashed potatoes.
Thank you, Scalpod.
I'm okay with that.
Scalpod's here.
The mashed peas, potatoes.
You know, it would be a shame though, you know, to start experimenting so late in life. Maybe you find out you're really good at that kind of stuff, and like you wasted a lot of time because you're at the end of your prime at my age.
But it's your time that you've wasted.
Well, but then it might see again. You get
And then
into
you turn
the
around and you
heaviness
say-
that is the peas.
Next thing
'cause
you
no
know,
Say
time
you're
is
never
like-
gonna stop this motherfucker. You're never gonna bring this motherfucker down.
See, those are the
can't say
those
that
are
on the radio.
words of a non-Jeep having dude.
How do you know he doesn't have a Jeep?
God.
Are you assuming his Jeep ownership? You know how I
am,
know he
I
doesn't
am,
have
I
a
am.
Jeep? Because he hangs
'Cause
out
he doesn't
with me.
wave at me.
And it's not because I'd see it. It's because the whole hanging out part, really. The Jeep would be kind of the forefront
Anyway.
of that disaster.
You know what my blind eye for the night is
Oh.
name approximations like that, like Jeep. Like Jeep, Jeep, is actually a supposedly shortened version of GP.
General purpose.
I actually looked
just
that
like
up
a
recently.
Genital
K9.
purpose.
K9 is a shortening of K9.
Is that really
Yeah,
a
it's a-
shortening?
I'm blind eyeing all of those shortenings where it's like it seems like a lot of military stuff where they just they're not even shortening it. They're just changing it. It's like GP is actually
He
shorter than
pretends
JEEP.
He was in the military.
Do you know why that is? Do you know why a lot of those things are
Cheep,
done that
cheep.
way?
Why is
Because
that?
Americans are
Logistics.
lazy.
No, from a logistics standpoint, it's easier to deal with numbers and such whatnot, and also in as we started to have enemy combatants in the day of radio, it was easier to speak of things like that because it's much harder to understand a language when people are using slang and acronyms to describe what's happening.
But
So
when did that
it
never
initially
exist? I would
did
imagine the very first time that somebody thought they had laid out all the words that there was, that
Yep.
people were already injured. It was probably the introduction of slang that prompted a list of quote real unquote words. That's my blind eye. People that don't end
Do you know
the
what
quote.
Figmo means? Do you know what
end
Figmo
quote.
means?
Absolutely. That's my blind eye. We got
Yep.
that. Who's your
Yep.
blind eye piece?
Well, some feminists hurt my feelings on the internet.
A big surprise.
Okay.
So,
So-
women on the internet hurt your feelings.
No, that was
So you're
just
blind
strange
eyeing
thing.
women
No.
on the internet.
Again.
Okay, can I talk?
They're already so few
Do
and
you
far
wanna?
between.
I don't know because you guys put words in my mouth. I said the word feminist. I
I'm
never
gonna
said
put
the
a
word
lot
women.
more in your mouth than that.
I never said the word women. I said feminists on the internet hurt my feelings, and it turned out to be these men feminists.
I apologize for
gonna say-
downplaying your argument piece.
I was
Okay,
gonna say,
and
Dr.
I was
Fox,
like,
you should know better than assume their gender.
now here's the thing. This guy makes this statement. It's gonna be it's gonna be a little winded, okay? So he posts a post where he has said
Watch
in
out,
the
guys.
post that
Piece is going to be winded.
he posts a post of a picture of why his post was removed, and in it says he had said that all men are animals, right? And so he makes this post above this screenshot of Facebook telling him they took his post down because it was hate speech. That some feminist thing, right? So
Well, he posted a post, but was it the post
so
that he was supposed
I
to
typed the
post?
guy back. I typed the guy back. Oh no! And so then later that post that he posted about getting his post taken down got taken down because it was the same post that got taken down to begin with. And it says just be a screenshot. So then he posts a post about how fucked up Facebook was, and I'm like, dude, it is hate speech.
Can't see that on the radio
And-
piece.
It is hate speech. And he's like, well, what do you mean it's hate speech? All men are. I said, all men aren't animals. And so, well, if you weren't an animal, then you wouldn't bother you if I said that. And I'm like, dude, that's a straw man. All right. So I start getting stirred up, right? Because I'm like, listen, the word all, when you start to use the word all, especially whether you're alt left or alt right, all
Y'all-right.
you're doing
You're alt
all
right
you're
with me.
doing is setting up the victims of the next round of victimization because you're using the word all. If you want to say all men that use their power to sexually exploit women are animals, dude, I'm down with you on that. That's very descriptive. You're saying guys that do that are animals. I agree with you. But you can't say all animals. And then you can't justify your statement by saying, if it didn't apply to you, then why does it bother you so much? And it's like, it bothers me because that's how we used to say all Jews or all Mexicans or all, and that's how we start.
When we really just mean most
rounding
of
people
them.
up. But this is my thing.
Although
So
I'm pretty sure that's not
I
a
get
straw
really-
man argument. That's a no true Scotsman argument.
Okay, explain the difference.
A straw man argument, well, I think you know what a straw man argument is, but a no true Scotsman argument is when you reject someone who is part of your clan because they're doing something you don't like. For example, it's like, I was born in Scotland, so I'm a Scottish person, and that's fine. And then you're like, well, I rape children. Well, no true Scotsman rapes children. Well, that's not true because he's actually a Scotsman and he rapes children. No true Christian person would ever take the Lord's name in vain. Well,
I
that's
think
not
you're
true because there's lots of true Christians that would take the Lord's name in vain.
Now,
It's the no true Scotsman. Look it up on Wikipedia. There's a ton of these.
there are
things.
I do
no
want to point out. I
He'll
do want to
come
point
up with
out.
an
I think you're
excuse
muddying
to
the
deny.
water.
This is
with
important.
that
That I am actually a Scotsman, and I have never raped a child.
Yeah,
But Pete
so you're
did
a real
defend
Scotsman.
bestiality
Exactly.
earlier, didn't
Not
he?
with that attitude, you haven't.
That's a good one, Pease. I'm glad you're back.
Yep.
We missed you last week, man.
Yeah, who
So,
was that
listen.
handsome man that you had substituting for you last week?
But all right, we're going with the show. I'm sorry, my story must not have been very good.
Should we wait?
No, it was pretty good. Actually, I enjoyed that story, Pease.
It's okay. We can spend 10 minutes
It hurt
of
my feelings.
every
It really
other
hurt my-
20 minutes telling
'Cause you know
everybody how
what?
the previous
They called
20
me
minutes
a
was
dangle,
okay.
A dangle pisser.
Dangle pisser. What does that mean? You stand up?
Yes,
You
'Cause you're
squat,
a-
but you
because
because
you're
I
male?
pee for my pee. Now
It's a
here's the
squat
thing.
thrusting
So,
maneuver.
so they
No.
gender shamed me. They body shamed me. They old man shamed me. Then all of a sudden it was because I was white and I was objecting to the word all. And all I was trying to say is, if you use the word all with any group of human beings, you're going to perpetualize victimization and hatred onto that group. You can't say all
Yep.
men are animals because that's going to make people hate fucking men when you're rabid enough about
So
it. Just like you
basically,
can't say-
all people that use the
Be
word
specific.
all are wrong.
in regards to categorizing human beings, yes. Except
If
with
you
the one exception
categorize
is
human
all
beings, you're either
human
being a
beings are
classist
single
or a
race.
racist or a
No, you're
or
not.
a systemist, an imperialist,
no.
A
As long as
speciesist.
a
it's
nice
against
guy.
as long as it's against a group that's perceived to be bad. And right now,
Okay, well now you have to
That's what we're
perceive
perceived to be
bad.
bad.
Who do I think is bad? Well,
Oh, you're so
I don't
bad,
think-
Dr. Fox.
ooh, you stop it.
Oh.
You stop it, you.
Oh, you know you're bad.
I know it. Peas, you want to take a song break?
let's take a song break, man. Feminists really hurt my feelings. Oh, God.
Well, we're gonna
I
give
understand
Peas
that
a little-
too. It does sound like that.
We're gonna
Peas.
give
like
Peas
you were
a
in the
couple
right.
minutes and a bucket to pick up his pieces in, and then when we come back, I don't know, we'll find out. If you're watching the live
Dangle.
stream,
A dangle pisser.
hi. We'll be right back with Time for the Show, live on Free Think Radio. Now I have to flip all the switches.
That's hateful, dangle pisser.
As long as the angle of the dangle is acute. It's time.
Audience is tuned in, that's all.
Yeah.
That's a long song.
Know your
Take
audience,
that,
Peas.
audience.
Take that.
That's what
Take
you
that,
get.
That song.
That's what you get. That's a good song. So yeah, we're enjoying some libations here at Hypercube. And,
Dr. Fox, you're a
we're having a good
scientist.
time. Sometimes
Doctor.
I
I
like that.
identify as a scientist.
Off air, we were all discussing why the conspiracy doesn't allow us as a species to have Jello pudding pops. And because they're delicious, everybody liked them. And so you wonder, why didn't they make money? And then you think, okay, so Jello decides to get out of the Jello pudding pop business. Why didn't some other guy go, hey, you know what? Frozen pudding on a stick, I like that. I'll make it.
Yeah, why
No
didn't
one's
some
ever-
other guy
why
start
did
saying
nobody stand
Jello
up?
pudding pop? Jello pudding pop.
Well,
Why
And if
isn't that a
everybody
popular
likes
thing
it,
right now?
If everybody likes it, why is the Jello brand leaving that money on the table? I think that the conspiracy or the reptilian
Because he was a
overlords-
rapist?
Now, there's also the consideration that maybe only the 1% can get that in their special catalog of, discontinued
Yeah,
food
it's the
stuff.
Hammacher Slemmer of billionaires.
Yeah, we
Which
can get
if
a
you- if you-
Popeyes.
if you think a
we can get a
regular
Popeyes chicken
Hammacher
sandwich in
Slemmers-
there,
Woo.
Jello pudding pops, but regular riffraff can't. But anyway, as a scientist, do you have an answer for
Is
our
that Fit
query?
Chuli as Bill Cosby on that album? Jesus Christ.
No, that's how
What
Bill
the
looked.
hell?
It might be.
That
That's
is
after Bill's-
terrifying. Somebody
That's
can,
after
we, can we
Bill's
find out if
heroin
if not Cosmac but Scalpod has finally uploaded his algorithms to YouTube, and now he's subtly mixing Fid Chuli's face, that flipping face,
Yeah, that deep
Put-
fake.
put-
that,
that
deep,
deep
face,
face.
that deep
Pudding
face.
pops, brother. How come we're not allowed to have pudding pops?
Well, I'll tell you what we are allowed to have right now is Jepson's Malort. I actually ordered some in from Chicago here. And fortunately, we have someone here who's never even.
You ever
gotten
done
an
a shot of
opportunity-
Malort peas?
So we're gonna.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay, you're on. Okay, so here we go. He's going to be able to.
No,
Got
no,
Reverend
don't.
Codeine
Okay.
here, just enjoying a shot of Malort. Oh, and one for me.
One for you,
Terrific.
Dr. Fox.
And
Oh,
oh,
it's incredible.
all right.
Look,
It's
the
gonna- kinda
conspiracy
little dark, but
won't
we'll
even
make it.
let me talk
All right,
about
here we
pudding
go.
pops.
Actually,
And,
stand
That's
over there
right,
behind
because
you.
that's
I'm putting
racist,
pops.
that's
stand-
I'm
sexist.
stand right
repressed
there.
by my own
Stand right
production
there.
staff.
Stand
There's
next
a
to
You
me.
little
mean
bit
Over
more
here.
pudding
light.
rape pops?
There we go. We have Reverend Trenchy there on the feed, and
Yeah, it looks like
Reverend
the
Cody.
camera is about 10
Oh,
seconds
it is
behind.
Reverend Trenchy.
And come pie, boys.
Bonjour.
Come by. And I want you, by the way, to explain to everyone the intricate flavors. So like really savor, like take it all.
Oh, is this your
like-
first shot of Malort, Reverend Codeine?
Yeah,
is
no,
it?
it's,
Yeah,
Because like it's extremely, you can't get it outside of Chicago. So a lot of people out there have never heard of this. Very possibly
Chicago. They've never
tasted
heard
it.
of Chicago.
Yes, never heard of Chicago. So this is their
It's a
unique
city
opportunity to
in
really
Russia,
get
isn't it?
inside your head as to what this experience is like.
Yeah, just drink it
So-
and then try and describe it.
You could, I guess, but there's a lot more flavor to it.
Well, drink
we're
it and
waiting
find
for
out.
you.
I wanna hear-
We're
I
waiting
wanna
for
hear-
your
I wanna hear yours.
description.
Sure is good.
There we
Oh,
go.
don't worry, I got one too.
It's gonna taste so good.
Have you
Doesn't
had
it taste like
Malort
vomit?
There we go.
peas?
Do you think that the fucking pudding pops are gone because they replaced it with this Moplo art shit?
Are you talking about
Wait.
pudding rape pops?
I don't know why you call them rape pops, and they didn't. They
Because
didn't,
they because Bill
because
Cosby
Cosby
raped
likes
children with them.
Because Bill
but dude, they
Cosby
went out-
likes
they
his
stopped-
girls like his pudding pops.
Listen,
Cold.
I'm telling you guys,
Cold
pudding pops
and no longer
stopped.
moving.
Interesting.
Pudding
Okay.
pops
So
stopped like
mouthwash we
15
have.
years ago. Bill Cosby was still beloved then. Okay, so it's not like, oh, people don't like pudding pops because of Bill Cosby.
You're scaring
Pudding
me
pops
because I almost
went
want to give
away.
you like a genuine answer, but I don't
Please
want to
do.
do that because that wouldn't be funny.
What
It
you're
would
saying
be,
is they didn't
though.
have pudding pops in Las Vegas, Utah.
When's the
15
last
years
time
hold on,
ago, but
hold
we've
on.
had
All
pudding
right.
pops
Last
down
time
here
you
all the
saw
way up
Jell-O
until the
pudding
end of the
pop?
trial.
No, answer the
Step
question.
one.
When's the last time you saw Jell-O pudding pop?
Okay, when was
Right
the last?
before Bill Cosby got
When was
convicted.
the last time
Oh, my-
you
when was
saw
that?
a
Give me a
cup
year.
of Jello? Let me
Because
ask
Bill
you
Cosby
that.
got convicted last year.
When-
And I haven't
37
seen a
hours.
frozen
Okay,
pudding
so
pop
when the
Okay,
trial
so
started,
one.
in 15 years.
So you can still get
you're in the desert.
but you can get a cup of Jello pudding, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's not
Do
a
you
pop.
own a freezer?
No. That's not the point. Why is it not ready to go for me anymore? Why is another guy stepped up with a frozen pudding concoction to fill the void of the Jell-O frozen?
I didn't know they were available outside of making them yourself to begin with. I guess I'm showing my age here, one of those
They get this
Z-millennials.
thin layer of like water ice on top of them as you sucked on it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that would be
yeah.
like-
Now, I've
Oh,
deep-throated
man.
a big
That,
fudge
you're
pop.
right, Peas. I liked that layer of frozen ice right on the top of it, and then it was
Yep.
all super
I love
creamy,
my big
smooth
black
inside.
chocolate bar.
Right, it was delicious, wasn't it? Why did they take it away?
When
Why
did
don't
they
we
take it
have
away? Man,
Why
the
has
box that
nobody made
Scalpod's
a
showing
generic
has
version?
like calorie
Yeah.
listings on it, so that has
But
to
it's an
be
old-
within the
no,
last
It's an
criminal
old box,
election,
dude.
right?
Scalpod, how old's the image? Come on, Scalpod is already researching.
Those aren't the
That's all
pudding
the
pops that I'm
answer
talking
here.
about,
If you care to
Scalpod.
read it, please just read it in the next break and then move on from this topic
Move on from pudding because
forevermore.
all we're going to do is
Forevermore,
make rape
please.
jokes about pudding pops,
think they
and I
changed
don't
the
know how
formula?
many of those I have. I
7.
wasn't
I feel
prepared.
It's
we
all
should
about the
have a few
fudgesicle.
pudding pop jokes, man. Now the fudgesicle's different. Listen. That's
Yeah, but
very
it's
similar,
intellectual
and I'm
property.
with you. And that fudgesicle
I
also
love
gets
that
that
he's
little layer
just
of
as
ice
heated
on it.
about the feminists as he is the Jello pudding pops.
You got to read this text that Scalpod posted.
I'm reading it, but it's like declining sales. I don't buy that. Of course, that's what the con's going to tell you. But I'm telling you, some local guy be like, I like pudding pops. I'm going to make some. And that's not happening. What kind of American
I thought you
society
just
do
said
we
5
live in
minutes ago
when you
that
can't
somebody
have a
else is
frozen
doing
pudding
it.
pop?
So
no,
if
I said
somebody
no
else-
one's done it.
no one's
no,
doing
I
it.
said no one's doing it. And that's why I know it's part of an overall conspiracy by the con to take it away from us as a species.
That's
Well, that's
big
where
We're
I
not
made
words.
this
allowed
argument.
to have them. There was some benefit that we were getting from
Yeah,
Jell-O pudding pops.
calcium.
Maybe an immunity of some kind that we don't know about, that the reptilian overlords don't want us to have. So they struck it away from Jell-O and made it so no one else could ever make a frozen pudding pop ever. Because
Or
where
we'll
are
sue
they?
you.
Where are they?
But
Where
I can make a
are
pudding
any
pop.
Version? You can in your own home. Absolutely.
Anybody
But
can in their own home.
If you would
To
have
me,
that
let me
layer of ice on
let
it,
me
I don't
let
think
me
you
think
would.
about this real quick.
Because I don't think
Let's
it's just
say
pudding.
I'm a
I don't think
giant
it's just
food
pudding.
manufacturer,
There's some
and that
special
I have a
frozen
product
process.
that I spend an extra $10 billion a year on, putting on a stick and freezing and shipping to a store that somebody keeps in their freezer, where somebody will buy it and then take it home and put in their freezer. Or they could just buy the product that didn't need to be frozen in the first place, freeze it, and get the exact same effect.
Listen, this is where you lose your mind, okay? I can make ice cream at home too, but I don't. Because it costs like $8 to make ice cream at home.
Yeah, but
I
it
go
costs
buy
the same
some
amount to
big
get a
factory.
box of pudding pops. Every time you bought a box
Where
of
are
pudding
you
pops,
bu-
you put another stitch in the next Bill Cosby sweater. Do you feel good about
No,
that, Pease?
listen,
Does that make you
in
feel handsome on the
2004
inside?
In
You're trying to
2004,
justify
Bill
yourself
Cosby
with
was
this?
Still very popular.
Blueberry popular?
It has the Jell-O pudding pop mystery has nothing to do with Bill Cosby. Everybody still loved Bill Cosby.
But like
when
I
this
said,
stopped being fun.
all I got is
they
rape
loved
jokes
hold on.
tonight.
What?
Oh, they loved him real hard. They were loving
long
him
time.
all the way up until the
I think-
accusations came out.
I think he was the one doing the loving, really.
Yeah,
Well,
and he
you know,
wasn't
yeah,
doing
and
it.
they were sleeping. Yeah.
Yep.
People loved Bill
nappies.
Cosby till like 2014.
Give me the
Then
sleepy
all of a sudden
coffee.
my life-
You didn't see the air quotes.
Yeah, there are air quotes here, but you guys on the camera didn't see those air quotes.
just
so
do
I'll
the
throw
show.
them on for you.
Let's just do the show.
Why? Why should we
Well,
do
you
the
guys-
show?
You guys obviously have no inquisitive minds that want to get to the bottom of what fucking
Well,
aspect
I think
of the
Scalpod
Jell-O
pretty much
frozen pudding
resolved
I
pops.
think, yeah, I mean, even
It's so
even for
beneficial
the
to-
sake,
he
if there's
hasn't resolved
anything a
anything.
subgenius wants to do, it's let everybody know how they're right.
Declining
And when they
sales.
have proof,
Who
they will
believes
drive that home.
In a land of 330 million fat fucks that is called America, how can you believe that frozen pudding pops couldn't be that they had to stop making them because of declining sales? I'm not buying
It's not
that.
declining sales. It's
Can't say fat on the
intellectual
radio,
property.
please.
It's because they sold the name to Popsicle.
And Popsicle made them and then stopped making them because of declining sales. See, I read the whole thing.
Okay,
RC23.
here's the thing you're.
I just
you're-
don't read
here's
the
thing you're
parts
missing.
that I like.
Sales
It's gonna be the
does
longest
not mean
episode.
like how much were sold. It's actually an acronym, and I'm still working on discovering what the acronym is. But I'm 100% certain it's the amount of alien jizz that goes into them, and they couldn't get enough of it.
Thank you, Trenchy.
And and Popsicle changed the formula. So
Popsicle.
of course they were gonna fuck it up.
extra pop thick.
It doesn't mean some innovative guy right now today
No.
who's like me pining for Jell-O frozen pudding pops, the original kind with the little layer of ice that you could get. Why hasn't he made those? Because he's being suppressed by the government. The minute any kind of machinery that would allow you to make that kind of product is even looked at for being purchased, government agents are immediately doing an
I
inquiry.
think what
What
you're
are you gonna do
failing
with
to
this?
understand here
What are you going to
is
do with this?
just
Oh, make
because
some
pudding
frozen pudding
pops are
Oh, no,
good,
you're not.
just because Puddin' Pops are good, what you're failing to understand is
They're
that you're
rape.
thinking that they're rape. You're thinking that
Guys,
Popsicle bought
Pudding
the
Pops
brand
are
name
rape.
so that they could make a
guys are
profit off of
sound
it.
like those
When in
internet
reality,
feminists.
Popsicle bought the brand name so that they could stop it.
Well, these internet feminists sound like they're
Well,
pretty
that's true.
funny
No.
to me.
It's
That could
so
be-
that
They're my
Popsicle
kind of
gets
feminist.
more
That's
sales.
happened. That's like, have you guys noticed the difference in Twinkies all of a sudden?
Like how they're still available
No, you can't.
despite the
in
company
my
going
neck of the woods,
bankrupt.
But
you
then
can't
what would
buy
happen?
a regular.
What would happen if Zingers
now.
bought up the Twinkie brand and then
they
stopped
make- do they
making
make
them so
Zingers?
they'd sell more Zingers?
Well,
And
it's
then brought
because
them back because
Because
now you
Zingers
have,
have
a
like
nostalgia for
three
them.
in a package.
They were gone
Twinkies
for
is
3
only 2.
months. Man,
So the
I
Hostess
missed them.
name and the products were bought by the some of them bought by the Blinky Bakery Company out of Mexico. So anyway, my point being now, they have this new kind of
Point?
Twinkie. It's Devil's Food Twinkie cake with the vanilla frosting. I don't think it has the banana flavor in it that the regular Twinkie has. But since they started selling those here in Las Vegas, you can't find regular Twinkies. And I think I'm
Yep,
concerned.
and you'll never find
that
them
the
again.
regular
And then they're going to
Twinkie
discontinue
gonna-
the brand that bought them out.
is going to be like the Jell-O frozen pudding pops. Why couldn't we keep having them? Another company's making them. They were making them a couple weeks ago. They just stopped. They make these
Again,
these
yeah,
chocolate
Because
ones.
they
Somebody's
got
making
bought
them.
out so that they could be shut down. Do you understand how companies work
Well,
like this?
you can
buy
say
out
things-
your competition
you can-
and then
You
listen,
don't
stop
get it.
making it.
Things that normal
you're saying
things
things
that
like
make
a look
sense
at a Ween
just
concert,
aren't
dude.
interesting enough.
If that was the case, they
There
would
is
never
no
brought the
such thing
band
as a
back,
Ween concert.
and there would just be Zinger fucking products now. If your premise was true, then they would have already done this.
But this
because
statement
I'm
is
looking at
false.
the big process of the Hostess fiasco over the last 8-9 years. Okay,
The
so if they
fiasco.
were going to destroy the band, if they were going to buy the brand,
destroyed
just
my
to
band.
shutter it, they would have shuttered it. But that's not what they did. They bought the brand and then sold pieces of it off along with the recipes. Now, that being said, the Blinky Bakery Company that's making the Hostess products now, they're not trying to not make Hostess products because they're going to make Zinger or something like that. Don't tell me I don't understand how business works. I understand the process that you're talking about, but if that process was going to take place, it would have taken place by the investment bankers that bought the Hostess name and all the fucking proprietary property from it in the bankruptcy sale.
Proprietariest
And
of property.
that would have been if that had been the Zinger company. I don't know who makes that product, but then we would never have heard about Hostess after that ever again. But that's not what took
You weren't
place.
hearing about
They
them before they went out of
revived it.
business either.
All right, let's move on with
That
the
was a
comment.
large part of it, I think. What, you want to move on?
I want to move on with the comedy.
All right. Who's your blind eye piece?
I think I did the blind eye with the feminists who hurt my feelings.
Did
on the
you?
internet.
Did you
Oh,
call
yeah,
down
you
the
totally-
wrath on
The
them?
male feminists.
You want to name any of them?
Yeah, you want to dead name anybody here?
He's not. I don't even think he's a sub genius. One of them was a sub genius, and I was really taken aback. And they
You were
For
taken
Facebook
aback
page?
that a subgenius didn't agree with you?
no, it wasn't that they didn't agree with me. It was
Or
like
that they vehemently disagreed with you?
so they kind of here. No, here's the thing. By saying the word, hey, if you use this word all, then you're victimizing people. So then they decide, oh, you're so full of shit. If it didn't apply to you, whatever. But then they all decided, let's do all the things that we say are wrong. Let's gender shame him. Let's body shame him. Let's age shame him. Let's shame him.
Yeah,
for
they
every
wanted to
fucking
let you
possible
know
thing.
how it felt.
But
So let me
Yeah,
ask
that's
you,
such-
Pease,
that's such
how's your
bullshit.
white guilt
That's such
today?
bullshit.
You feeling sorry enough yet?
I don't feel sorry and I don't feel guilty about things that didn't occur that I had no control or even a vote on in my fucking life. Okay? If a bunch of white guys did some terrible things 300 fucking years ago, I guess that's too fucking bad because I can also look in history and see, oh, these guys over here that happen not to be white, they did some terrible shit here. Oh, let's go back to Genghis Khan. He did some terrible fucking shit too.
Yeah, but that was a
It's
long time
it's a-
ago, though.
It's an aspect of mankind.
That was just how things
and you
worked
can't
back then.
say that this group or that group was inherently evil because of what they did.
No,
if that's the case,
nobody has
then as
ever
a
done
race,
anything
we're
evil in
inherently
the
evil.
eyes of the future. We were all just young, dumb, and full of fun.
I thought you were
I
going to
don't know
say
what this-
young, dumb, and full of cum.
No,
Yeah, no, that's
no,
what we
I
did to these.
subverted the cliche there. Did you like that?
and I guess that
I
makes
did
me
that
even,
without thinking.
sort of.
even worse because I won't feel guilt about it because I feel like I didn't do anything. And the other thing I look at, you guys have had this
Oh,
country
you've
for
done
200,
plenty, Peas. You've done
240
plenty.
years. Just so you know, my grandfather came over here from fucking Ireland.
Yeah,
you
land
fucked
of
with
the
this place
whitest
long-
people in the world. Too
Long
white for
before-
England. They said, you
Long-
know what?
yep.
Take it over there. And then, even then, they couldn't stand each other. Gave them their own magical land of kissable piss rocks
Leprechauns
and
and-
leprechauns. The ones that chase after you but don't get too far because their limbs fall off. Leprechauns.
I think it's
The
very
leprechaun.
important to take that and really, really try to drive home the fact that Irish people were so fucking white. The rest of Europe was like, it's too fucking white for us. And
Yeah,
so that's
they-
why they were hated when they came here. They were too white.
But there was already
And so,
somebody
you know,
living in
I
Iceland.
I think you've got a point.
I
Your
don't wanna-
family has.
I don't
gone
want to
through
get
a lot
into
of
the
this
In
fact
fact, the
that
Europeans swapped Iceland and Ireland.
So it's a little known fact, and I'm not trying to.
Oh, you got a rare fact? You got some pay-pays
So-
for me, Peas? You got some peas? Some
during
rare
the potato
peas?
famine-
Can somebody
potato-
please shoot me a pay and peas during this show? Thank you.
He is green. But it's a hate symbol, kind of like peas.
So during the potato famine, the United Kingdom let 3.5 million Irish people die.
Let
Because
is
of
a
not-
strong word.
No,
I
it's
would.
not-
forced,
it's
actually,
not- it's
because
not-
they were
it's-
taking the potatoes.
Yeah, I was.
They
I was.
took
I was
the fucking-
moreover gonna go with tried.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh man, we've got all the Scotsmen here. Peas, don't you want to have a deep
talk
philosophical
about their
debate
struggle.
with your
Celtic struggles
sovereign
are very,
oppositional countrymen?
are very similar to the Scots and the Irish. I saw Braveheart 6 times.
Do you know what the difference between the Scotch and the Irish are? The Scotch had the foresight to brand their liquor. Anybody can make whiskey, Peas. Anybody.
That's what they say, even in
And
Kentucky.
they
But
do.
only the Scotch spell it differently.
Yeah, they call it water. But it's got a lot of runes, and I can't pronounce it, so
I
excuse
didn't
me.
say they were slaves, Andrew Drew. I didn't say they were
Wait, who was slaves? Were you a slave? Were you ever a slave, Peas?
Nope. Nope.
Would you want to be?
Nope.
What about like a slave to Hypercube?
Yeah,
Would you want to be
slave
like
to
a
the media.
Hypercube sleeve?
No, I have a problem
Would you
with
be a
authority.
sleeve? Reverend
problem with
Peas
authority.
sleeves?
No.
You can do Mr. Green sleeves and peas as well. Anybody who's got Photoshop open, thank you. By the way, can we get a 22 in chat for a Braze Bob? Braze Bob, everybody. Big tutu
Brazen,
right there in
roasting,
chat.
brazen.
It's my opportunity to
Yo,
see how far
really?
behind they are.
Guys, that last discussion
Thank
made
you
me a
for-
little heated, and I got a little sweaty under my armpits. So during the next break, I'm going to make sure that I bathe up, and I'm going to use Triology soaps. Because Triology soaps are glycerin-based soaps. You get 4+ ounces in their regular bottle, and it gets you clean. TriologySoaps.com for that dirty, filthy bastard in all of us.
Wash your ass with Triology soaps. Now
Get-
available in cleaning forms.
Get some.
Now with more eucalyptus.
TriologySoaps.com. Well, Peas, you wanna do some Patreon shout-outs while you're going ahead and doing the soap
I don't have any-
plugs?
Hold on a second. There's Patreon people who are just so valuable to us, and if this
The
people don't know
most
this.
valuable.
Here's the thing. I know you guys think, oh, I don't want to do it. Even if you did $1 or something, we've got web hosting things now that we're streaming things. We actually, like everything, we did this to get some slack, and now it's costing us all money. We don't normally ask, but we really do ask. If you're listening to the show and you're starting to enjoy it, if you could kick us a couple of bucks a month in Patreon, we'd really appreciate it. And not only that, we've got some levels here in the Patreon that really personalize your experience with the show. First of all, you get to be in the Discord channel. You could probably come in without the Patreon, but whatever. And that's a big part of the show because people participate in that aspect of the show. You get access, depending on your level, to super secret stuff that other people don't get. And of course, you also get exposed to becoming a journeyman of hypercubism, which that alone
The more
is-
you
is
give,
just
the quicker
crazy.
you'll get there.
And isn't that crazy that it works that way?
No,
But it
it's
does.
completely sane
Yep,
in an irrational world.
Dread Cube.
It's loading up. It's loading up.
Which is loading. What do you need, Peas?
The Patreon page.
Patreon page. I've got them.
Yeah.
You don't have this memorized?
Why don't
Come
you?
on.
Why don't you do them? Why don't you do? Well,
That was a good plug on the
out.
Patreon, Peas, on the Peas Treon.
Okay, very good. But listen, seriously, I'm gonna send some. I'm gonna Patreon myself this month. But if you guys can spare $1 or $2 for your enjoyment of the
Well,
show.
before we start begging, let's
Don't
show
think
them
we're
what they
buying
get.
cheese
Let's
and
show them what
shit
they
with it.
get.
Show them what they get.
They're at the
goddamn.
Oxtail and Vodka level, which is a real level that you can obtain over at patreon.com/hypercube. We have Dr. Cosmac. At the Potassium level, Reverend Couchsloth, Apostle X Venord, and Reverend Caller 23. At our AstroTurf level, Hazel of the Windmills, YB Dobbs, Reverend Scalpot, and Reverend Richard Negative. At our $4 Rehydrated Scab level, that's Agent Lloyd. At all we have Long Dead, Reverend 80, Cat Feather, Reverend Guimo, and Jitney Fricoeur. Those are our Patreon shout-outs. We usually do that in the beginning of the month, but it's the end of the month.
It's the end of the month.
And I'm trying to let you know, these people, this amount of people that I have to go back and look at the tally of because I can't count that many names at once. These 15 people.
You have to
Somebody
take off your
just
shoes to
joined the
count that many.
Patreon. Somebody just joined the Patreon
Just now,
since we
who was it?
started.
What?
I'm
As we
looking. I
spoke?
haven't gotten it yet. I usually get an
that's
email,
very
but let's.
exciting.
Do we get a live shout out?
And
It's Reverend Trenchy.
Oh,
At
Reverend
the,
Trent,
at the
Dr. Trent.
Vodka level. That's
Trenchy.
wow.
Believe it or not, I was
Bonjour,
actually
Reverend
about to
Frenchy.
subscribe to it before you actually
Frenchy.
mentioned that particular level. So I just happened to get on right as you did that. I hit
Can-
the button as you mentioned that level.
Well, I believe we have some parting gifts for you on your way out of the studio tonight. So once
Here's
again,
the
thank you,
thing, dear
thank you,
friend.
Reverend Trenchy.
Here's
Pease,
the
I
deal.
believe you need to read him
Keeping
his
that
fortune.
internet going.
Read misfortune.
Read him his fortune,
Pease is going to have to
please.
read the fortune, and Pease is also going to have to come up with the Bible verse.
Well, I got the
Okay,
Bible
so
verse. I took
first
that.
of all-
Oh, Dr. Fox
I
is going to do the Bible verse.
Put your hands on the microphone so that I can sense your essence.
Done.
Okay, he's doing
Get
it.
him on there.
Okay. All right. Oh, it's dark.
Open
Ah!
your eyes.
What, are you just saying that because he's black?
Okay. Take your hands off the microphone, please.
Okay.
I think things are going to be good for you, man. I think it seems all bright and happy, and yeah, you'll probably be fine. Yeah, you will be fine. You'll be good. Play the lottery. Here's the thing. A lot of people, you go out places out there in Orlando, you say you go to the beach because, you got the Atlantic coast right there in Atlanta. People say don't go swimming because of sharks. Don't you worry about it. I have foreseen your future. And the one thing that you are immune to causing you any pain whatsoever is sharks.
I'm sorry, was that sharks or sharts?
Yeah,
It was
because if it's
both.
the second one, you're wrong about 20
it
minutes
is
ago.
sharks. It was sharks. It was sharks.
All right.
All right.
You got anything more there?
You got
I
like
mean,
some
that's-
lucky numbers or a Chinese word?
Your lucky number
Try a
is
second fortune at
23.
hypercubego.com.
Your lucky number is 23. Beware of a pipe smoking man named Bob.
Oh
And
shit, he's
never,
above me.
ever,
He's surrounded by Bob. We can
Leave
I
the
can
house.
vouch for this.
without some kind of undergarment. If you're a commando dude, you got to stop right away.
Is,
I
is
see
that kind of like
danger.
some
That's actually a
Mormonism
problem.
there?
Because
I
I
see
haven't
danger,
owned
dude.
underwear in over a decade.
Go buy some on the way home tonight. Trust me.
Okay.
Whitey tighties, boxers, or boxer briefs.
It doesn't matter. I see.
So thong.
Loincloth?
I see a naked disaster in your future if you're not tucked up, buddy.
Okay. Thong it is.
Trust me on
Tucked up,
this.
so whitey tighties.
No,
Yeah,
thong.
no.
Definitely thong.
Oh, thong.
Not-
Banana sling.
Extra thong.
Something. You got to have something.
Full exposure on the back though. Just like wrap around the leg. Yeah, just like that way, so you don't have to take them off to take a shower.
Well, I mean, it's not full exposure.
It's not.
It
It's
covers
not an
your
embarrassment
butthole.
issue.
No.
It's not-
No,
listen,
you can
listen
get
to
'em.
me.
What you do is
Let's
you
be
get them
serious
so
about
that
this.
it goes around
This is not
the
an
crotch,
embarrassment issue.
and
I'm
it
not
goes
worried about you
around
being
the
embarrassed.
back and loops
By
around.
having your junk up and away, it's going to save them. Okay? You're on commando right now, and if you keep going that way, you're going to be missing a stick in a bone or a stick in a ball one day.
I'm already missing 2
got-
balls.
What?
You're
yeah,
twice the subgenius I am. Thrice.
maybe I'm
really.
too late. Sometimes my psychic gift only works for the past.
Well, you're
I
about
predict that the
25
stock
years
market
too
is
late.
going to crash in 1989.
Yeah, you're about
Yeah.
a good 23 years too late there.
23, you say?
Yes.
Wow, look at how
I
that
can't
ties
control
in.
what the spirits tell me.
Well, I can control this Bible verse. Trenchy, your Bible verse that will be plucked randomly from a new international version.
Oh, you don't have you don't have King James?
We do, but we go with NIV because it pisses off
It's only
more of
like
the people
400
in
years
chat.
old.
That's
Yep,
really.
yep.
Okay.
It's also easier for me to get around all those these and thys and thous.
Oh.
Just like
I'm
the
so
bestseller
glad that
from
God learned
15
English
years.
from Shakespeare. And you have John 17:15. My prayer is not that you take them out of the world, but that you protect them from the evil one. And that is obviously what
Testify.
you're doing. That is obviously what you're doing by joining the ranks of Hypercube, getting in on the
Yeah,
show society,
yeah.
becoming,
Preach.
marching in the Box Brigade alongside your new gender-neutral brethren. We're working on a
I can
time.
feel him. I can feel him.
Neutron.
Siblings.
Amen, brother.
We can,
Amen.
We'll work on that. I think somebody else grabbed that
Sibling
one.
or sibilant.
Amen.
Sibilanth.
Sibilance.
Sibilanth. You call her 23. Good work on that Sibilanth. So yeah, obviously that is just the
does
truth.
that even mean?
That is, I didn't even have to interpret it. The Bible interpreted it for me. So thank you to God and thank you to Reverend Trenchy and to all the other Patreonies. When we come back, Hypercube is about to explode. Maybe again? Really? Peas, you sticking around?
I actually got to pervert my comments tomorrow.
So
You
do
gotta
we all?
pervert your
Does
comments
everybody
tomorrow?
have to get up tomorrow
You
morning?
gotta polish your Jeep.
Everybody has to get
Nope.
up in the morning.
I'm
Peas.
up all night.
I have to defend America, boys.
Negatives here. Peas. You want to stick
Yeah.
around for a few more minutes with me?
A few more minutes after.
All right,
we
we're gonna
got-
take a song
is
break.
it a band?
And when we come back, more time for the show. You're listening live on freethinkradio.com, youtube.com, Hypercube Go to the polls. We'll be right back with more show.
Yep. Hypercube, get the heck out of here.
Reinitializing the
Zing,
Hi, Peas.
Hey, pal.
Hey, we're back. You're listening to Time for the Show live on freethinkradio.com, YouTube at Hypercube Go. And yeah, those were our Patreon shout-outs before the song, and that was just one of the many benefits that Reverend Trenchy is going to be enjoying, other than just the self-satisfaction of knowing that he is aiding our drastic research here.
Aiding
Amen.
and abetting.
And yeah, and I'm betting on getting those moving because I've already started working on the Best of Time for the Show compilation CD, which you would not believe how difficult that is. And I've got a little
So
bit
little
there, so
best.
we're almost up to that $100 mark, and that is our current goal at $150 a month, folks. Hypercube will be able
That's
to
cocaine
maintain. Well, actually, we would be able to
Be able to
maintain time for the
an
show
internet connection.
for the entire year. That is really the major aspect that I'm working on, and the idea being that we've got power bills, and the core down here. We've talked every week about how this
it's
sucker
overheating.
heats up, and not only do we need new heat sinks, but we literally just covered the summer's power bill because cooling 27 sub-basements isn't as hard as just the one floor on the surface level. And Yeah, we's hurting, and we actually got our server bill this week. And this is when I would shout out to Elvis Martini and Guru Drew, who have donated through PayPal. And if you're not wanting to sign up for the Patreon, remember, if you sign up for the Patreon, you get cool shit. We're saying shit because we're in the second hour now.
Yep.
Because we're cool.
Yeah, Elvis Martini, by the way, as a thanks, you're getting some stickers.
Yeah, Caller 23 is responsible for the sticker packs that went out. So you can send all of your thanks. I got a lot of thanks for them. And I told everybody that did thank me that it was from Caller 23. But featuring art by Hazel and Scalpod and myself and some. Did you do any of those? Any of the art?
Oh, I don't think so.
Just all the work outside of that.
Yeah, it's all
so,
fan art.
We got
all
the
the
fan
memes.
art stickers, and we're going to put those up on hypercubego.com, which is where all the time for the show stuff is. We've got Sellout Con T-shirts. I've got some of those left that we'll throw out, and
that was great.
We want more stuff to come, but running Hypercube is rough, especially when you have to take 2 weeks off of work to travel to Central Europe on your own dime to talk to the people that are already giving you money. And they said
it was going to be a good deal.
And they said that. And here's where it comes down. The core essence of Hypercube's industrial comedy initiative for our post-cataclysmic scenario. We have found a way to charge those psychoustic crystals with an energy so pure, so nice, so handsome, that we're going to pump it out over the airwaves. But that's going to require bandwidth adjustments, folks, and they're not going to give us the rest of the money until I meet the line. So,
we need a satellite.
Ladies, non-ladies, people that call themselves ladies, people that call other people ladies, and the boys.
Do you think Johnny Cash, while he was working on that song, "I Walked the Line," was like played with things like "I met the line, it was over there"? And he's like, "No, that's not good."
It's called chemical pesium.
And it's pure. It
is
pure
the purest,
Colombian
nicest, handsomest
pesium.
chemical that we've ever discovered. Now, Caller 23 and I discovered this at the laboratories attached to Bar TR 622 just last week when I was returning from an undisclosed mine shaft in Central Europe. But
who would have thought that mine shaft popped right up at Bar TR?
They told me they like where we were going. And when I called them back and told them about pesium and the pesium synthesis project that we are working on, they said, you know what? Well, you get the rest, and we'll fork over what we know you really want. And I already have Caller 23 to thank for the awesome sound mixer, and Long Dead for the cables, and everybody that listens every week. Ferg and Drew and Lloyd, who have been sharing the posts, Scalpod and Cosmac, who run the games and run the hypercom when I'm not here, which is most of the time. I'm your antisocial host. And Reverend Negative, who's doing his show on Hypercube. So many people have made a tremendous effort in not just making this happen, but keeping it up off the ground. And that's why we're introducing my new direct form of supporting, which I'll put in the chat right now. PayPal.me/DocFox.
To drive this show into the ground, you people won't let us.
Now it's almost the first of the month, everybody, and so that means the Patreons will come in. But we are about $200 short of our current operating goal for the next year.
Do we have tote bags? Like if you Patreon.
Well, if you join the Patreon, you're showing a commitment, because I want to get more users than Maddox has, because I used to have a lot of respect for that guy, and I'd love to rub that in his face.
Maddox
but MaddoxPI.com only has 21 Patreon subscribers, and Hypercube dares have 15. So get onto that, and if you are able to make that happen, this is the time that I'm gonna beg for it. And for anybody that throws in enough, if you know what I'm saying, I'll make sure you get some groovy stuff from Hypercube. And well, we don't want to ball gag these guys because they're speaking the truth. Now, if you literally are just too unfortunate to afford $1 a month to become an algae level subscriber, because clearly you found Hypercube in a time of need. You can sympathize with me. You right there. You understand exactly what I'm talking about when I say I ain't got nothing.
We hear you.
We hear you. I know what you're saying. So do me a solid and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
You can still help even if you don't have that
Facebook.com/timefortheshow.
Wow.
On Twitter @timeforthetweet, and go to timefortheshow.com.
Listen
and
to me.
Subscribe to the show.
I don't know that I could live with myself because I've had times where I had no money.
It's hard for us too, Peas.
If I couldn't send $1 a month via Patreon, and then on top of that, because that's okay, we get it.
Are you a Patreon donor, Peas?
That's many times over. That's okay, but if you can't share the links to the show, I just don't know what to say to someone like you.
Wait, you're saying if somebody else can't share the links to the show? I wanted to thank you for following us on Facebook last week, Peas.
Which one?
I really appreciated you following us at facebook.com/timefortheshow.
Was this episode 86?
Last
I'm part of that
week.
page. Because you told me it was
episode
bad to
85.
like
You
stuff.
made the page! You made it!
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You say I can't like stuff that I make, so... Because it's bad.
And yet I'm Hypercube's biggest supporter.
Hey, we got Drux coming in here saying check your mail.
Yes.
Looks like he may have donated.
Guru Drux. And I guess we're checking that now. Shall we just go on and just check the MEP?
Yeah, what's Guru Drew got to say?
You guys check the show. Peas has got to go because I got some exercises I have to do.
Oh, you have something more important.
You doing Kegels again tonight?
Oh, dude, come on! Once a year, I got to go to this big giant conference and do stuff. And this is that week. As I told Fox today via our live messaging system that we have, which is basically, like one of those bank systems where you put the things in the little tube. Well, we have one of those systems that goes all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada to Orlando, Florida, the future capital of the Spanish Empire. And so we were communicating that way. And I said, hey, I might be a little late because I'm at the Strip. And it's super hard to get out of here at 5:30 when this class is over, so I might be late. And that's why I was a little late for the sound check. But I have to get up even earlier there tomorrow and go to these 3 other shows. And today I didn't have the luxury of having everybody that's my boss, like 8 people going. And tomorrow,
who's your blind eye piece?
My blind eye is the mean male feminists that hurt my feels.
All right, Peas. Well, if you're going, you know what you owe me. Come on, Peas.
All right, so here's the thing. It was a good show. I was hoping that we would have more tales of Dr. Fox's undersea adventures to enthrall us with, but we didn't. So I apologize for that because I really told you guys that he would basically enthrall us, with these stories. And kind of downplayed it a little bit, so I'm sorry. I probably built up your hopes for no particular reason. I'm sorry that I went off about the pudding pops, but I really think you guys need to think about this. There's a reason. There's something that those pudding pops were providing us as a society that might have been the one key factor that liberated us from these reptilian overlords and space alien influences that are slowly but surely destroying our democracy in this great United States of America. And you, the listening, viewing audience at home, can help fight this atrocity by starting to work on your own frozen pudding pop mixes, and then you may make money doing it. So don't fall under the heel of the reptilian overlords. That stuff, it was probably making us immune to cancer, probably made us live 1,000 years. That's why they took it off the market and you can't have them anymore. But I'm sorry that the guys, I want to talk about Scotsman's laws. You don't understand the argument, Pease. Here, let me explain it to you. And RC23 went on for like 16.
You're welcome.
Whatever. But it's all right. We're getting used to it, I guess. I'm sorry, so sorry that even though we kind of hoped that there was going to be like a real hardcore Pease pilot this week, not just like dabbling with it last week, that, Argus Fox came back from his submarine adventure with no stories, I might add, and a little earlier than we all anticipated. So we're sorry, guys. I'll get this show out one time. Look at Negative. He's been on here for like 6 hours. He's already got 8 shows in. So good for him. Good for you, Negative. Good for you. Anyway, kids, that's it for the P's. I love you all. I hope you're here next week. Thanks so much for being Patreons. Thanks so much for spending every Monday night with me, Argus, Reg, those other guys. And let's have a great show for the rest of the show, and I'll see you guys next week. Love you.
Love
and
you,
hey,
Pease.
If you're dirty, get clean with triologysoaps.com.
Oh, wow. Right there,
Nice.
even at the end of the background music. Thank you, Brenda Pease. Wow, I'm on fire tonight.
Oh, Brenda Pease.
And I guess that's my third shot of Malort. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, folks. We're going to take a smoke break. You know what I'm saying? And then when we come back here on freethinkradio.com, you know what I'm saying? It's more time for the show. Timefortheshow.com. Click Don't Say Hello. BRB. FBI.
JK.
And we are reconnecting to the Hypercom. You can join us timefortheshow.com. Don't say hello. Click the Discord button. It's that easy. Here we go. It's time for the show. So I have to get used to all of the extra clicks. And we're checking in. So, thank you to Guru Drew, who has already helped us meet half of our goal. Along with everybody else that's helped out so far, even with the Patreon. We're now over half. Anything else, that's what we got. You want a sellout con t-shirt, you want another Time for the Show poster, you want a couple packs of stickers, take advantage now. PayPal.me/DocFox, Patreon.com/Hypercube. And again, you ain't got nothing, subscribe to the show.
Hello?
This is even the new cable. I think it's time to clean my contacts on my microphone. There we go. Now
Time to clean those audio receptors. Just unplug it and plug it back in.
We're gonna power cycle, which is what I actually intended to do during the song break there. But I went outside to enjoy a frosty Margaret, if you know what I'm saying. We are back in the studio. The Hypercom is open. Again, timefortheshow.com. Click Discord. Don't say hello.
Hey, what's up, good buddy?
Hold on real quick. So yeah, newest member of the Hypercube family, Reverend Negative, is getting his site built up, which already has links to a plethora of works that Reverend Negative has suffered to make, and I'm sure has endured, which you can get at subgeniuses.com/negative. And get up on that and check out Negative at night. Reverend Negative, what day of the week is your show on?
Thursday night, and I updated the website last night. Every Thursday from 10:30 to 12 ? Basically, the first 30 minutes, I just play songs that I want to hear. Like, I like music and all that jazz. And then after that, I open up the lines, and so everyone can come in and just talk about whatever. Usually I have a topic of the week. This next week is going to be old school video games. And Dr. Fox, I saw your Nintendo in the Hypercube. I also have a flat screen television, an old TV tube, with a Nintendo hooked up to it. I can't play Duck Hunt, unfortunately, but I can do everything else.
Yeah, we've. I've actually got an opportunity to possibly get a new one. I'm getting signal from Hazel the Windmills that the YouTube audio stream has cut, so we are going to attempt to restart that. I'm not sure
see
what's
the donut
going on.
of death there.
Yeah, it's one of them things. So we are
the
gonna.
The core is overheating. The core started overheating like 3 minutes into the show.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
It's not a surprise
we need
that the
these
core
heat
is
sinks,
overheating.
everybody. We need them. So we're gonna reinitialize the stream, and at the same
You know what else
time,
would help
like
is,
my mic is going out. Do you see what I'm saying?
I hear
Even
you.
here at the cutting edge, the forefront of show production. So I'm on it. If you're listening live on Freethink Radio, I'm on it.
Yeah, we're here. I mean, it's just a matter of getting the... If we could offload some of these server cycles onto the pylon array, then that would also significantly help. If we could just get the pylons to start picking up some of this load. So, also, which I'm sorry for, I haven't uploaded the 3D file for printing pylons yet, but I promise I'll do it soon. And
Pretty
then,
sure I'm about-
and then you get
I
some.
didn't move Show Rogan's sensors over to Don't Say Hello, which is mirroring off of
oh yeah,
the
Show
slap
Rogan,
top here.
one of our oldest and hardest working robots in the studio here, Show Rogan. She. I'm not sure if Show Rogan actually has a gender, but it's one of the hardest working robots we've got at Hypercube. So, yeah, bring that robot over.
All right, looks like we've got the video feed back up, according to Hazel there.
Wonderful. Yeah, and yeah, again, this was also a test on multiple new systems. It takes two separate processing units attached to the hypercore itself to maintain what we're attempting here, which is a simulcast over freethinkradio.com as well as YouTube. And over at that Patreon, I've got some goals listed. If we can hit that $10,000 mark, I think I can afford another camera to put up onto the system.
Yep.
So, thanks in advance. And thanks again to Guru Drew and to Trenchy for joining tonight and supporting us. Really appreciate that. Good stuff. Good stuff. We are now well past halfway our goal. So if you have $82 in your pocket, send it to paypal.me/DocFox or subscribe for the $100 tier on patreon.com and force me to screen print more shirts.
Oh yeah, I believe you get a roasted ham or something at that level as well. Is that correct? Like an entire
Well, we don't
ham?
want to get into like the shipping details or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you'll get a pack of stickers.
You'll definitely get stickers.
You'll definitely get some stickers. And Hypercube is just blowing up these days. So, yeah, new shows. We're on Freethink Radio. In fact, I was talking to someone who's going to be an upcoming guest on Time for the Show, Matt fucking Hillock of Party Time with Matt and Zax from the Phone Losers of America cult. And he'll be coming on to the show in a week or so. But Party Time with Matt and Zax, we've got plenty of those that we're going to play on Freethink Radio. Dr. Ellis, just so you know. So more shows so you can get in on that action. And if you have a podcast or you want to do a live show, reach out to me and I'll talk to Dr. Ellis. I'll grease some palms for you because there's plenty of room on the schedule for you to come in and get in on this. And we just
night times are filling up.
They blowing
jump
up quick,
on that train now.
Yeah, and those good time slots are eating up. I mean, I've already got like the Jimmy Kimmel slot of the night. You've made it through your weekend suffering through no real enjoyable live entertainment. So trust me, as soon as you're 2 hours past kickoff, you can start tuning into time for the show. And this is Dr. Fox. You greasy monster, you. I'm so glad you could be here, especially. You know, it's been a while.
Parenthesis, you.
Did
and
you just,
parenthesis, and parenthesis, and parenthesis.
Yeah. If you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Oh, you know.
You know specifically. And it's been a while since you and I talked. But I'm excited to let you know that we're making these major advancements. The Pesium, the source of endless energy into the hypercore, we're going to harness this. And it's going to bring us to fantastic new levels in bringing about Armageddon. Because don't forget, you fucked up. You specifically. And you need to start coming up with a way without thinking of how you're going to fix it. The easiest way to do that is to donate to Hypercube. After that, it's not just joining, but becoming one of those. I can't say essential. They're not essential because the universe is fine without them. You know what I'm saying? But the universe doesn't usually take kindly to them either. But you can start climbing the letters. Climb those letters into hypercubism. Go from H to M. And as you're going across step by step by step by step, rung by rung, bunghole by bunghole, just remember that the superhuman abilities that you are going to be able to develop by progressing through hypercubism, it's transcendent upon any amount of money that you could even comprehend having in your pocket now. Money will not be a worry or a concern to you. It's only a concern to us because, to me, not you, to me it's a concern because of just how essential the research that we need is. We just got quotas to meet. Up until that point, I'm drowning in money. Don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll get something nice, like a new bedpost or a hat. You know, Dr. Fox knows how to live it up, but I can't spend my own money on Hypercube. Not that I'm not already deeply invested into it, psychologically, emotionally, physically.
Yeah,
it's
sure
deep.
You spend a lot of your own money too.
It deep, yo. And you specifically could be doing more. You know what I'm saying? You've already signed up for the Patreon. I know. But it was on that tier that just didn't, send me the email right away. They were like, oh, it's just another one of those. We'll lump it into the next group, like your quarterly email. Like, by the way, this person cared just enough. Thanks.
Yeah, 10 cents a show is 10 cents a show.
Yeah, I mean,
but,
you can feed a starving hypercubist for less than $100 a month.
That's
Specifically.
True.
And I don't know what you're doing. But we've got fantastic technologies that we are implementing every day here and bringing about the
psychoacoustic resonators.
End of the world. And we're going to do that, yes, through the psychoacoustic resonators that you charge by listening to timefortheshow.com. You've already, we're starting to see pylons. People are at home building those pylons. I say people lightly. I don't want to inflict that upon any of them. But pylons are being erected, which gets me a little bit in the same vein, the same main vein. You know what I'm saying. And it's beginning to work, but we've only got so much time. we're looking at a last-ditch effort of April 13th, 2029, to have the pylon array not only tested and functional, but beyond our current comprehension of what the capability of the array can even do.
Yep.
And using
Optimized.
Hypercube psychoustic energy, we're hoping to attract enough of the right psychic force to destroy the planet. And those journeymen, those people that have mastered hypercubism and learned how to not just open a door, but find the unlocked ones, are going to be able to move in to a fantastic new realm. You're going to be able to pick the plane of existence of your choosing. And who am I to say that you don't like the one that's a lot better than this one? All those choices have already been made for you, by you, in an alternate timeline. And you'll be able to assume that position, and so you desire, move on to the next one. These are the interdimensional transcendent properties of a Hypercube journeyman. And you can get in on that by just joining the show-ciety. They're your friends, end quote.
We're your friends.
I'm
What's
your
the
friend.
website you go to join this hypercubism?
Why, I think it's as easy as going to hypercubego.com and start learning more information. Head on over to the shop at hypercube.com. We use that term loosely, but it's familiar for you. We don't want to sling a dirty word out like merch. But you can already get Hypercube products such as reality augmentation stabilization decals and 3D printed replicas of Hypercube Tesseract models developed by our own Dr. Cosmac, handsome boy and chief engineer in charge of stuff like that. It's there and they're available, and we got more coming. So come on, get in upon it. Just go hypercubego.com. And if you can't do that, timefortheshow.com. It's that easy. You want the end of the world to happen, right? Right?
Yes,
that was a
of course I
comma
want the end
and
of
then
the
an
world.
extended pause. That was like a little squiggly pause marks and like a music bar. I mean, I'm not reading lyrics, but it is a lot like sheet music. There's a rhythm here. I'm able to tap into that because I've already adjusted my aura to the correct harmonic frequencies in tune with my resonator's local area. So, why miss out on something as fantastic as living forever and doing whatever you want? It's as easy as just blindly supporting Hypercube every day.
Yeah, just do it, you dummy.
You big idiot. You want to go over the 5 rules of Hypercubism?
Well, first I want to, because I'm kind of a science guy, I want to talk about the science
Caller
behind
23,
this.
the science guy.
Yep.
It didn't work. That didn't work.
So anyway,
Not a coffee.
What we're talking about is, in science, when things start resonating,
End quote.
when they start really resonating together, you get these resonance peaks or whatever. There's this thing called the Q factor that indicates how much resonance is going on, how high that peak goes.
And we've heightened that to the cube factor.
What we've heightened it to the cube factor. That's exactly right. And Hypercube Labs right now is idling at a cube of about 1.3, 1.4. So what we're really intending to do is get that cube up to it's double digits, easily double digits. We're
Like
going to get that
peas.
cube factor
We need
up.
to get the cube factor to at least match the pesium output that we're receiving.
Yeah,
and
because
trust
it
me, we're
collapses
working on
otherwise.
getting more of that.
Oh, we're going to get some more pesium. Yeah. That's actually something, a big part of what your donations are going to is locating and then refining pesium that we can use to infuse these hypercrystals to put into your resonators and make this array work. This is
Better,
happening,
to
folks.
make it work better.
Yeah, that's true. It already
Asterisk.
works. Yeah, a single pylon
Little
is enough to
cross.
work, but 10 pylons works a lot better, and 1,000 pylons works a lot better than that. and 1 billion pylons is about where we need to be at. So
About. We're calling it kind of short, but let's be realistic here. If we can, at least, the first billion is the hardest.
That's what they say. Yep.
And fuck them, really.
Fuck parentheses, 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 them, end parentheses, end parentheses, end parentheses.
It's like the Jell-O pudding pop of the future.
You know, those ice crystals, I think Pease made a really good point about this earlier, too. Those ice crystals, there is something that they don't want you to know about. And maybe it is just as simple as that thin layer of water that's frozen on top of your Jell-O pudding pop. Maybe it isn't, you know? But somebody has to find out. And that somebody is Hypercube. We're going to find out, and we're going to make it happen. Either you're with us, or you're against us, or you're neutral, or you have no opinion, or you sort of like us, or you sort of don't like us, or you have all kinds of other things that you like and haven't given us a thought, or you're a Patreon member, or you're not, or you're trapped inside a Hypercube.
It's your chance to be the you in Hypercube.
You can't spell
so stop
Hypercube without you.
Up!
Yep.
Scalpod, I'm asking for $150. Don't tell them to buy somebody else's stuff. God.
What the heck are you peddling here, Scalpod?
Scalpod's in the chat right now.
You need collectible cans, duh. Like collectible cans, like the ones that you worn on your head over.
Is it Schmidt?
Look at this. Look, Caller 23. I'm holding a Hypercube collectible can in my hand right now.
That's right. And that Hypercube.
I would dare you to take a picture of it.
That Hypercube.
But I'm going to set it down. I'll show you later. But here, you guys want to hear it? Listen. We got some Hypercube collectible cans.
That's it.
We do have them, and we're going to be putting some crystals in them because I've already affixed the small piece of foam at the bottom of the can. Yes! Yes! It's almost like I've anticipated this moment.
You need to take the old sets of headphones that you've worn out and spray paint fuzzy little forest creatures on the side of them. And those will be your collectible cans, and then you too can eBay that shit for $150.
Yeah, it's an investment for you. Get it from me, and then talk about how you got it from your hero, Dr. Fox, and you're not willing to part with it for less than $1 million.
Yep,
and don't
your hero,
and
Dr.
please
Fox.
don't forget to tithe.
Yep,
because you would owe me after that.
The tithing here consists of donating your teeth. It's more like teething than tithing. They want your teeth, especially if they're like have fillings, like gold fillings. For sure, send those old teeth.
Is it teething? Is it steezing? I believe there's.
Nobody said peasing yet.
We are not appeasers, sir.
Wow.
But this conversation is very appeasing.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that the gold fillings are not really the ones we're after right now. What we need is the mercury amalgam fillings. Those are necessary for all of the pylons. So if you have any mercury
and because we like to play
fillings,
with the mercury,
please rip your teeth out. Send them down here.
P.O. Box 4304, Winter Park, Florida. 32793. Put Hypercube Labs at the top. LABS, like the doggies. Because we's your dogs!
Dem doggos.
Because we's your dogs, yo. I had to start the new background music. And I think it's about time I expelled like my 6th cup of coffee here and also go get another one. So,
yeah, good idea.
So, Caller 23, while I look up a reasonably timed song other than the one that I've already got picked out, why don't you tell these people, these fine people, why don't you tell this guy right here more?
Well, I'd love to, Dr. Fox. Actually, I'm glad that you asked me because I've got so much more to tell you about the incredible things that are available here. Now, what we're talking about down here at Hypercube, there's a lot of things that we're trying to do, and there's a lot of things that we need to sell you in order to get there. So some of the things that we're willing to sell you at deeply, deeply reduced prices right now, we can actually... You can stand up against the ocean and yell at it and win in an argument against the ocean for just a small donation to Hypercube. One time, only one argument, but we can make that possible for you, that you will actually win in an argument against the raw core of nature. Are you interested in that? Because we're interested in giving you that. In fact, we're not only interested in giving you that, we're interested in selling that to other people and giving it to you. Now, what you need to do in order to make that happen is you need to get other people to buy it so that we can give it to you. Now, this is not a pyramid scheme. I'm going to let you know right now. Yeah, you turn around, the very next thing you know, you think, oh, well, caller 23, that sounds like a pyramid scheme to me. This is not a pyramid scheme. This is a pylon scheme, and that's very, very different. Yeah, so our scheme, pyramid schemes, the way that they work is that you have the top, and it goes down and down and down and down, and the broad foundation is what supports the rest of the scheme. The people at the top make money because the foundation becomes wide. And pylons are a little bit different. A pylon
There's more
is
room on the top. To
it's a vertical structure. It's very, very similar to a vertical structure.
Pyramids
at least. I mean,
are really
there's some
flat all the
angles
way
and
up.
stuff in there. There's some places to insert the hyperacoustic resonating crystals, but in general, a pylon is more or less vertical. So this is not a pyramid scheme. This is a pylon scheme. And if you start in at the top, then you will be above the insertion point of those psychoacoustic resonating crystals. And what that means is that you have access to all kinds of things available that we can give you, assuming that the rest of the pylon is built, assuming that the pylon goes all the way down and those crystals start resonating well beneath you, then you'll be right up at the top. You want to be the first one to make contact with aliens? We can make that happen, okay? A very simple process. We have a methodology and we have an optimized system for making sure that you are the very first one that when the saucers come down and the door opens up and the
slides open.
It slides open. Exactly. That's right. That's how you know Dr. Fox knows what he's talking about. Anyway, saucers come down, door slides open, aliens come out. They say, "Take me to your leader." To whom will they be taken? Who really are our leaders? These are the sort of questions that need answers, and we're answering these questions. God damn it, we are going to answer this. And the only way to answer it is through a diffuse net of pylons that are harvesting psychoacoustic energy from across the universe. And if you get your journeyman level all the way up at the top of that pylon before the rest of the thing gets constructed, then you will be the one that's up at that level of those aliens when they come down, and you'll be the one to talk to them. You'll be the one that's able to actually say, well, I'm the leader. And they'll be like, okay, we've got some very serious business to discuss with you. And you're going to be right there. I'm going to be right there with you. Dr. Fox is going to be standing just slightly above us. And we're going to work this out. But this can only get worked out if you donate now at hypercubego.com or become a Patreon. And not only just become a Patreon, go to hypercubego.com and read some of the literature that it's going to take to make this happen, but also start your quest as a journeyman whose journey will be ultimately to be our leader, to be the one that these aliens look to. And you'll say, well, down here on Earth, we do things a little differently. Blah blah blah. You need to, and you'll be all like, well, they'll be like, well, you need more, cysnium in your diet. You need more mercury in your food, and you need more psychoacoustic resonance between your ear holes, and you need just like blah blah blah. It's like, forget you, aliens. Because we're going to do this our way, and by our, I mean together, us and the aliens, Wotan, everybody's involved here, everybody's included. You're up at the top of the pylon. You're at the top of the pylon. I don't know how to overstate the importance of being at the top. Literally, I cannot overstate this enough to you. The only thing I can say is basically, this is a do or die situation. You need to get in here now. And once you get in here, we can start working together and finally work this out. Dr. Fox?
Dr. Fox says we got to go rotate some of those spinning doors here. And when we come back, it's time for the post show. So if you're listening on Hypercube Go at YouTube, now is your opportunity to take advantage of this opportunity by going to freethinkradio.com. That will exclusively host the post show. So this will be the end of the YouTube stream. You can go to timefortheshow.com/nothing. Just go to timefortheshow.com. Click the Discord button. Join us. Come into the voice chat. Don't say hello. It's that easy. When we come back, time for the post show. I'm Dr. Fox. You're listening live on freethinkradio.com. I love you.
But that's our bees.
I mean,
And the time warp has been stabilized. Thank you.
Wait a second. Is Hazel's here? Hazel!
hi.
Hi, Hazel.
Hi. This is the first time I've ever heard.
AstroTurf
Fills
level
me with
Hazel.
joy.
So great, so awesome. Hazel knows
Fills
all
me
the
with joy.
songs. And that's,
She knows all
but
of
that's
the
why everybody
songs.
comes on to Time for the Show so they can hear more about just how great they are. Like you, Scalp Pod. You know,
I'm not great at all.
I
I'm
think-
really not.
I think, well, here's the thing. When it comes to the most terrible entities in the world, you are the one that
The
I
sweetest.
would at
I'm the
least...
sweetest, right? Of
Yeah,
all
you're
of
the
the most
Swedish.
awful.
You are the Swedish, the most of all of the evil entities that I know. I'm just glad that for now you're pretending to be on our side. How about that? Does that count?
I am not pretending. I'm fully on your side now.
Okay. Well, okay, we'll take it while we can get it. And Reganeg is a handsome boy. And we got some other... Yeah, if you want to just... Yeah, don't say hello.
This is
Just
in
jump
there,
in. This is time for the
Matthew
post
Bertram.
show. We are live on freethinkradio.com, and this is the end of the security feed. So
Yeah, cut out that cam so we can
Clump.
do all the good stuff.
I'm waiting for the light to go off so I know we're clear.
I don't trust
I've
it.
got it
There's
up
no
on my
recording.
phone,
Ah,
so
the
I'm waiting
lights
for it
down.
to
I see a
cut
copy
out.
of it over here. I'll let you know when
I
it's
think
done.
if you put a piece of tape over it, it works.
Yeah, put a piece of tape right over the microphone.
Who's got tape?
Yep.
That's how we
Just
taught.
put it on a
If you,
cracker.
if you put a piece of tape over where you broke off the piece of plastic, you can record over that tape again. That's the secret.
It's not a secret. It's a
Not anymore.
secret. You know, it's a
Yep.
secret. Oh man, my little
Looks like the YouTube feed is dead.
yes, good.
Lights
Now
on.
we
live
can
the
all
YouTube
all
feed.
be
Don't
even more
put tape over the
secret.
camera. Just put tape over the light.
Yeah,
Just put tape over the LED.
That
Then
way-
it's not
yeah,
recording
it's-
anymore.
and it, well, no, it just
put
doesn't
tape-
bother you anymore.
Just
You
put
don't have
tape
to
over your
worry
eyes.
anymore.
Put tape over your eyes, and all will be well.
What if every time like you made a bag of popcorn, like Pop Secret, and it popped, and then like it popped out, and it was like
It's like, oh, not a secret anymore.
exactly, yes, not a secret.
Garbage.
Yeah.
He's a Jiffy Pop.
I was about to say somebody likes the burner on their stove, but you can't do Jiffy Pop if you don't have like a butane line to your house, or
Yep.
a propane line, I imagine. Got any
propane or natural gas. Propane or natural gas.
I'm propane.
I'm anti-pain. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't mind if I do, Dr. Trench. Thank you so much.
I'm
for just a
propane
little bit of
and
Malort.
natural gas. Like I'm all about the pain and I'm all about the gas.
What if you just
the gas
like
is flowing here in Hypercube tonight. The
Very nice.
Jepson
Thank you.
Malort is flowing.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you to,
yeah. And now that I did
Reverend
that
Trenchard.
shot, I'm just gonna put a lighter, a
Are you guys?
butane
You
lighter
guys are
in
gonna
front
be
of my
doing
mouth.
like you're gonna be doing like Malort charts here any second.
I mean, I've already gone to the little doctor's room like 3 times this show.
Oh, you love Malort though. Everybody.
I'm
loves
not
Malort.
complaining.
Yeah.
It's keeping me regular.
Extra regular.
I may have to go ahead and just put on a regular order of the stuff just to bring every week.
Just you know
what's
just
so
a steady,
interesting?
A steady
You know,
supply.
We're
Yeah.
down here in the future capital of the former Spanish Empire. What's so interesting, they only sell Malort up in Chicago, but they actually make it down here in Florida
In
and
hell.
then ship it up to Chicago. So to get Malort in Florida, they make it here, then they ship it to Chicago, then you have to order it from Chicago and they ship it right back.
Well, I actually looked into it. Turns out, interestingly enough, it's actually made in an alternate dimension of Florida.
Ah.
And it has to be shipped to Chicago to bring it across the dimensional rift into
Oh.
our
It's a-
Chicago.
It's
and then we
it's a
ship it
Piers
back here.
Anthony thing.
It's
Yeah.
Yep.
trans-dimensional it.
The worms of Malort are flying down around us.
Space worms. Punch you in
What
your
was
space
that,
worm.
What was that Ayn Rand book about space worms coming down to...
C-Spot Run.
I think that was Dune.
Did you just say Ayn Rand?
Yeah,
God
she-
Emperor.
yeah,
God Emperor.
He
dude.
wrote that book about threads coming down or whatever. Threads from space, like space worms or something.
Who
You
is
know what I'm
John
talking about?
Salt?
You gotta ride the dragons to burn them up before they get to the ground.
Yeah,
Worm
something
salt.
like that. You remember that Atari game, Scalpod? I'm sure you do. That was back
Yar's
when you were
Revenge.
Yeah,
first being commissioned.
Galaga. Yeah.
No, the fucking Atari game with the space worms, and it was based on that Ayn Rand book about outer space worms, threads coming down. Am I just crazy here, or what?
No,
Entombed?
I think you're on
Entombed.
like the
I think it
James
was
Joyce bill.
No, it definitely wasn't
Man,
James Joyce. That guy was actually well spoken.
You're not talking about Ulysses?
No, I'm pretty sure
No,
there's a space
Ulysses.
worms. No, Ulysses.
Thank you, audience.
You know the best part about that
I
audience?
bring 'em with me.
They're dead.
We do what we can.
Oh, we got a Malort fight in the chat. Guru Drew showing off his bottle.
Oh, very nice, Guru Do. Very, very nice. The Jepsums. Yep.
This is it's time for the hurt. Like I said, this is episode 86, and I think it's going to be alcohol poisoning by the end of the evening. That's the
Yep.
idea.
That's the
Who
idea.
else has to be up in the morning?
This is the John Bonham special, y'all.
This little doctor
Everyone
Oh,
does. I do.
God. I have to be
One
up.
li-
I have to be at work at 9.
at work at 9. So
This
yeah,
is the perfect night
this
to
is
have
this is
this
what we
kind
call
of a show.
Monday maintaining.
Yeah, just so you don't get the shakes tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
you know?
my eyebrows don't hurt, just the rest of my head. My eyebrows I can't feel.
I only have to exist tomorrow. I wake up and then like whatever happens after that. I'm
You just
good.
kind of drift.
Yeah, it's my day off.
Are you
like,
in any kind of corporeal form? I'm in a
I'm at-
corporeal form right now because I feel like shit.
I'm actually one of those.
That's called
3D,
wordplay, yo.
Pictures where you have to cross your eyes and like look at your nose and then look at the picture. That's me.
So like,
Doc Fox,
so
Doc
when
Fox
you
meant to say he was in a crop horror form to make his joke work, but I'm just here to help.
Matthew Bertram
You're welcome.
in chat, yeah, bless you. As the Monday trivia question, the song Manic Monday was written by what prolific songwriter? As we know, all songs pertaining to Mondays and how slightly uncouth they are with our regularly scheduled psychoses was Prince. And Drew beat me to it. Thanks. Great. That's because he's a hypercubist. He knows what's going on. I mean, I believe at this point, at the Patreon equivalent, Guru Drew is actually he's past red phone level, but he's at red phone level because the next level is Urtica level, so he's almost there.
Almost. That's that next level. That's the one where you get the ham, right?
I forgot I poured the whiskey in my mug before the coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but now
So
it's okay.
right.
It's at the bottom. It'll take a while for me to get to it.
Yep.
Fart.
This is
Shart.
Yeah, no, this isn't Irish coffee because I'm going to go to work tomorrow.
That's right.
Fox.
Yes.
When are you playing with Titan again?
When am I playing with Titan again? I got a call from I have to embarrassingly acknowledge that I can't remember all of the call signs of my co-members of Titan. But earlier today, I was informed that the 2 new cover songs for the next phase are They Might Be Giant songs. And that I'm supposed to be getting these 2 songs ready to go and record Titan style in the next couple of weeks over with Bison, Byson. Check him out on SoundCloud. He actually got a featured SoundCloud's electronic music musician of the day. So
Really?
up there,
Really?
he's doing good. He's like 20 years old, maybe 21 now. I met him when he was just a babby. He's still a sweet babby to me, my babby Bison. But he engineered the Titan album that I got mentioned on in the magazine that couldn't stand me because I recorded a song I didn't know and it immediately went to print.
Yeah, you're gonna do that with the They Might Be Giant song.
Yeah, but
right?
I know these, so it'll be a little bit. I think
yeah.
that's what they were saying. Let's make it easier for Dr. Fox. So we got that coming, and of course I do have to deal with my dear sweet Babby. I have to take care of my Babby, and balance
you got
that
a Babby of your own
on top of Dr. Mister, my wife, and she needs a break.
Yeah.
And so when I can get more time with Titan, I'll definitely be making a spree. I imagine there will be a month and a half to 2 months of me going out every week and doing shows, which I try to record while I'm out there. So I'll get that rolling. As happy about that. They're fledgling subgeniuses, but they are hypercubists, and they are mildly contrarian to me, but they work more on my level than they do on Bob's side sometimes, and that is on the part of the collective. And you can find out more about them at subgeniuses.com/TTN.
That's short for Titan.
That's
well,
what I
actually,
hear.
that's their real name is TTN. It's just understood that it's pronounced Titan.
PPN.
Yeah.
I made
By the
myself
way.
laugh. I'm going to lose the game.
Yep. Oh, that's
By
going to
the
be
way,
fun. We're going to do that soon.
Yeah, we've
you
also,
son of a
we're,
bitch.
caller 23, and Trenchy, I'm going to have to inform you about this. I
Oh,
don't know if you
Dr.
want,
Trench is going to have to do
I
this
think we're
too,
going to have
yeah.
to keep it confidential right now because there is proprietary knowledge pertaining to it, but we're looking at a video project.
We have a schematic.
And not only have we found producers, we found participants, and we're looking for more participants, and I'll be reaching out to those individuals, maybe you, very soon. Maybe Reverend Negative, he's up in Gainesville. I think that's an easy call.
Yeah. Reverend Negative's
So we'll,
in the
we'll fill you
future
guys
capital.
in.
Miles away.
But we've got stuff coming,
Oh,
and
it's
all
like
I can
2
say
hours.
is it's going to be super friendly, if you know what I'm saying. You know, wink, wink into my microphone. But Hypercube is blossoming, and we still need another $80. So
That's true.
So do it right now. Pease said he'd do it, and other
Yeah, but
people
that's
have already done
Pease.
it before he's done anything. So go on.
Well,
Take
we're
this
not
opportunity
all-
to make
we're not all
Pease
gray
feel
hat
like Pease.
hackers. Yeah, I mean Pease is like super
He's a
rich
green
and he's
hat
a gray
hacker.
hat.
Because he's a leprechaun.
Yeah, he is a leprechaun.
Well, he did have that big tumor that they pulled off, so maybe
Yeah.
Pease is an Irish leprechaun.
Well, I mean, they
He
had
didn't
to cut
save
it
the
off.
juice.
He didn't just. It didn't fall off him.
No, I
They had
think
to
here's
actually
the
cut it
deal. I
off.
think up until that point, the tumor is who we were talking to on the show, and once they cut that off,
Oh, is
now
that
we get.
why he got better all of a sudden?
I was okay. You want to use
That
the B word?
explains so
Yeah,
much.
sure. Thank you, audience.
So I guess that's what we find
I
at
have
the
to
end of
feed
the
the
rainbow.
audience.
Yeah. Anyway.
All these memes coming in tonight. I've seen so many good memes at the Discord at timefortheshow.com. Click the Discord button.
Yeah, just click the Discord button, you dummy.
This is the greasiest show that I think I've done. I don't think I've peddled and begged as much since I started. And even then, this one's egregious, but I'm enjoying it. That's the difference.
Yeah, well, you know.
Is it's a different mindset this time, because at first I was just like, give me your money. And now I'm like, I want your money.
You got to tell people what you want.
And I'm telling them their money, your money in particular,
That's what I want in my pocket.
right now. Do it. Stop not doing it. You stupid idiot.
Well, if I was a guy who wanted to donate money, where would I go to?
My goodness, I'd go to hypercubego.com or timefortheshow.com and click the Patreon button, or donate directly at paypal.me/DOKFAUX. And look, this is like
Yeah, we've got a
magic.
donation coming in
It's
right
just
now, actually.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
It's-
we've
you
got
don't
a donation coming in as we
an
speak.
immediate donation. So now I have to just start ordering shirts again.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
it's
true.
moving in.
That's true.
I
It
don't
is
know,
going
am
to take
I-
a few more shirts and a couple
Am I
more.
disclosing this donation?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could.
Yeah, there we go. Because Reverend Trenchy's putting his
putting his
dollar
money
where he is.
Yeah, he's putting his
Showed
money where his
up.
mouth is.
Showed up. Let me tell you something about Reverend Trenchy here. When I did the Subgenius deprogramming session in Orlando, Florida,
Oh yeah.
between 4 and 5 years ago, Reverend Trenchy is the one that brought me the invoice for the protest organized by him and Caller 23.
The counter protest.
The counter protest.
Did you ever pay that?
Well, I handed it off. I'm sure it's got a stamp on it somewhere. It's on a fork standing upright in an office somewhere.
Yeah, it's a payable on net 90 years.
Yeah, net 90 years, correct.
Yeah, you're not trapped in a per-month payment, Katana. You're enjoying it. You're benefiting from it instantly.
Yeah, you're only trapped if you feel like
Did
you're
you know
trapped.
that you'll feel better once you do it? Like, let me ask right now, Reverend Trenchy, as our new Oxtail and Vodka supporter, and now a direct cash supporter of Time for the Show, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel like I have emotions again.
Like, again, though. Like you
Again,
have a
yeah.
reference point to them from at least somewhere in life. Yeah,
I
give
did
me,
in the
give me.
past. It's been a long time.
I was gonna pour the,
but,
Just
Malort
drink it.
into my coffee.
No, drink it
and my
straight out of the
dessert, though,
bottle.
Are you gonna?
Yeah,
are
there's
you gonna
very little left
Snapchat
there.
me while I get it? You wanna?
Oh, should I? Yeah. Give me a second.
Just let everybody at home.
I'll post this to the show.
We're getting
I'm
on. This is the
gonna-
live show. Caller 23 and I also did the photo shoot last week, which I was
Oh
disappointed
yeah, I got a
in.
couple extra photos that.
Do you
I
have
may
a
be able to-
bearskin rug? Caller 23,
Yeah.
because I get. You know what, Reverend Trenchy, you come over, you'll
Okay, I'm
be the
gonna turn the
bearskin
flash on.
rug.
Give me a
You
second.
could not
Okay,
tempt
you
me
ready?
more than that.
And,
No,
and
hold
a
on.
blunt. I'm holding. That's what it is. A bottle made for holding. You want to get? You want the action though?
Yep, I want the
Just
action
gonna
now.
keep going.
Yep.
Multi-shot.
Yeah. Do
Here we
the
go.
action. Do the action shot. It's all
hold
about
on.
just timing it right. Yeah, I think I got you there. I'm gonna post
Yes.
this in the
Copy,
Discord
Jake.
now. So I'm not even gonna look at the pictures. I'm just gonna go ahead and post.
And
let's see here.
Katana is jumping in, making sure to plug the PO box, which, according to caller, I need to go check for return labels or return stickers.
Yeah, because, people, they always give their subgenius names and stuff, and then the post office is like, I'm
And
sorry,
just in case,
no Reverend whoever
if you
such and such
didn't
lives
get
there.
stickers, let me know. And
yeah, because pretty much most people should have gotten them. All of the Patreon supporters, plus a handful of people that are just good people that have been here for a while.
keep going. I'm gonna pull up a link real quick.
Yeah, one person we never heard
Do
back
the
from
show
was
for me.
Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha. They had the Canadian addresses, and so I had to buy special stamps for them. And then it wasn't clear that I put the international stamps on the international labels. So if you're in the U.S. and you got an international stamp on your envelope, then I'm sorry, either Doc Ellis or Martha Artha, somebody got yours. But I hope that they got theirs up in Canada there, because they're all right, you know. I'm sorry I'm sorry.
If you didn't use
Martha Artha says no
the
stickers
stamps
yet.
with the Queen's face on them, there's no chance.
And now an instant shout out to Hazel of the Windmills, that in combination with Guru Drew and Reverend Trenchy present here tonight, as well as all of the Patreon supporters, our goal has been met.
Really?
So we are now functional for another year. We are hands down, all funds that come in on the Patreon after this month
those are the ones that go to hookers and blow.
Well, it states on the Patreon, the $100 level, we are able to pay off our quote bitchin' apostrophe internet. End
Oh, yeah.
quote.
The whole 20 megabit
Tonight
per second
is
internet.
an example of that. I did 2 streams.
Yeah.
I did 2 streams at the same
He has
time.
solid stream. No weak streams here.
And
no weak stream. No, it was
weak streams
solid.
here.
Solid.
So, I mean, now that we've hit the goal and we've got 3 months left
I
in
guess
the
I
year,
can
are we
end the
gonna
show,
push,
right?
Are we going to push towards a stretch goal? And if so, which orifice will you be stretching?
Well, it seems
That's an
that...
excellent question.
And of course, remember, I'm talking to you. You specifically. You're going to get stretched, and it's going to be a lot of holes. It's holes that you haven't even found yet. Some people call them slits. Some other people call them open wounds. I did air quotes and the camera's off, and I didn't say anybody that I didn't do the quotes,
it
so I'm
could
already
be-
blind-eyeing myself.
Yeah.
But you specifically
You're
are
still
gonna feel it.
pointing. There's no camera.
But it's a different kind of pain. You know, as we learned a few weeks ago in the Hypercube Pain special, that it is the essence of the comedy energy that we're able to put in towards our industrialized initiative here.
It's the comedy industrial complex.
And we need that to manufacture more Pesium. And you need this Pesium. You need it directly. And in all of these holes, it's gonna feel better than horrible. And you know what I'm saying this time. But the next stretch goal that I guess we'll, I don't want to go too far, but we'll say cuticle stretching. Maybe just right in between the nail and the foreskin of your index finger.
Imagine that you had a pore
Is
in your
150.
skin, and imagine that pore got extended out to the size of a bowling ball. That's the kind of stretch that we're talking about here. And you know what I'm talking about, like pores, where it's like you
It's
look
like
at somebody's
ballpoint
skin and
pen,
it's like
but
there's
the
a
ball
tiny
is
little
the size of a bowling ball.
Yeah.
But there's the rest of the pen to go.
Yep.
But after that, it's leverage.
Mhm.
You're not gonna. It's a different sensation.
Yep.
It's like
Oh,
an
it feels
extension
totally
of
different.
yourself. Having a full ink gel rollerball pen under every cuticle and extending from each finger. You want to throw in the thumbs? Let's give them the thumbs. Yeah! Yeah, we're going to do the thumbs too. They're excited about it. It's fantastic. So yeah, we going to keep
You guys
stretching.
are going full bore.
We are going, and we're spelling that B-O-A-R because it's head first and every part of the tusk. 50 wild boars a year. That's what we're bringing to you. And that's what it's like to be part of the show-ciety. We've got Guru Drew and Hazel here. Would you like to? Do you care to tell anybody just how wonderful being part of this super special amalgamation of semi-tolerable individuals has done for you.
This is brilliant radio.
Don't everybody rush to the mic.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, I can't say that it's made a tangible difference in my life, but it's made a very intangible difference. You know, when I'm at work and I'm looking, you know, when I have to do that thing, and I'm looking at the people around me, and I think, man, my Hypercube friends are just so much better than these people.
But here's the important thing.
And, I mean,
truth.
And they are.
And it makes me realize just how much better I am than they are because I, you know, have this connection, however intangible it may be, to the Hypercube. I'm linked up to that sub-ether network in my own pathetic way, and you know, I'm just getting those tiny signals. I'm just, you barely hear it, but it's always there.
The difference between the rest of any services available from any religious or industrialized organization is that it is a unique kind of pitiful.
And it sounds like, Hazel, that's an intangible difference you can really feel.
And make it count.
Yeah, you can really get your hands on it. I mean,
you
can really feel it.
Yeah, it's a tangible, intangible difference. It's a palpable difference, if you will.
You've gone all night telling somebody else to keep their mic up, and you've done so well, but now...
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a palpable...
Is it post-show now?
Is
it potable? Hyper-potable?
Hyper-palpable. It is hyper-palpable
like
once you get
Jeopardy.
into it.
It's potent potables.
Impotent potables. That's what we're specializing in. Take my pills, please. They like that one. You see how it works when you're just, you guys feel the effect immediately just because I know here at the local grid array here at Hypercube, we're already generating vast amounts of psychoustic energy off of the Pesium reserves that we've amassed. At home, the viewers have been able to immediately understand that it's not that we're on the same wavelength with each other. It's that we're on the same wavelength that everyone else isn't.
Yep. And it's not even the same wavelength. It's actually the same bandwidth. There's a certain frequency domain that we're occupying that others just aren't.
And you wouldn't imagine the DNS registries on those.
Yeah.
That's why I went to some place that wasn't Poland. 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. Maybe it's Poland now.
Do you have any idea how expensive it is to take a subterranean bullet train?
No.
Is that through the magma, or is
That's
that
why
just
Pease
subcrust?
kept selling submarine because he couldn't say subterranean bullet train.
Wow.
And it's not really. If you want to go further, it's like a linear induction magnetic system train. It's an UMST.
Yeah, and Pease is all like train.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Can I get a choo choo in chat for Reverend Pease, everybody?
He's
and
just
he
so
hasn't come
handsome.
back.
He's
He hasn't
so
come
handsome.
back.
Yeah,
Why
no.
would he do this to me? I feel like I'm owed more apologies, despite how he stuck the landing on it tonight earlier. Choo choo. Yeah, they see we're rolling.
Hazel, yeah.
That was damn
Oh my
quick.
God! Can choo choo be my appropriation
Just
of
had that one
Vitchuli's
sitting
idea
around.
for tutu? Can I get a choo choo in chat,
Yep,
please? Yeah. Let's get off of the Fid choo choo.
Yeah, this is when Choo Choo Chuli comes in, right?
The Chuli choo choo. The Fid Chuli choo choo. Get off the Fid Chuli choo choo. I think it's just easier to say at this day and age, just say no to Fid.
Mm-hmm.
It's, there are people out there, and then there are monsters. And then there are monsters, and then there are just entities. And somewhere further off into the abyss, beyond any kind of reconceivable vision that you can bring, it's you even utilizing the most of don't think cannot comprehend Fid Chuli. And it's pretty obvious that when Fid found out what was going on here at Hypercube, I don't know, I think there were some unreasonable demands made by Fid Chuli. And,
yeah, I know. He wanted all these unreasonable things like food and air, freedom. It's just like, no, dude, no.
I gave him a broom to sweep up his own floor because it bothered me.
Food? He hates food.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Scalpot.
Oh, you're right.
You
You're
totally
right about
missed
that, yeah.
that one. See, you're not fathoming Fid Chuli correctly because he's unfathomable. But it's pretty obvious that the entity, and that's in quotes, which I didn't put up because the camera's off. Fid is just going to be your detractor. He's not on that Hypercube train. You know, he's not on the Hypercube choo-choo. He's on the Truly Chuli choo-choo. But you want to be on the Hypercube choo-choo. That's where you need to be. And he will lead you astray. Start making you think. Because he's all about that. You ever talk to Fid Chuli?
He's also
he can't
thinky.
stop with that. It's really annoying.
Let's just get really thinky.
Can you stop? Can you just not? Can you just don't think for a second? And I don't know. I believe that's where the adversarial shift came into it. And he is working himself up to public enemy number 1 of Hypercube, if not the very antithesis of everything I'm trying to work for.
Just
he's
say
like a
Fid
villain.
Noli. Fid Noli. No.
Hey, Yuli.
No!
Say Fid Noli.
Is he your Joker?
He is my Scandinavian Joker. He is my Civil War reenactment's grandfather's best interpretation of how people thought he'd be represented in 100 years would be Fid Chuli.
He's kind of handsome, though.
What's my soap scent, Guru Drew? Man, I don't got no soap. I ain't got no soap. I ain't got nothing. So let's put it in the chat. What is the name of Dr. Fox's soap on the Triology soaps line? I'd like to see some recommendations here. And yeah, I think that would be really the best way to go
Dr.
with it.
Chalk.
I don't want to name
It would just
my
be
own
chalk
soap.
flavored, yeah.
That's just too big of a head of me. I'd never be able to clean a head that big, even with Triology soaps, extra long-lasting bars.
Dr. Frop.
Somebody has that.
Oh, really?
That's another stupid Reverend Funny name.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. In fact,
yeah,
there's
that's a guy.
And there's a couple of them with it, and one of them's absolutely terrible and unbearable. So let's never bring up that.
We shall never mention it again.
Because yeah, you're
I thought
banned.
it was all off the cuff and
you're
everything,
banned.
but yeah.
This is a Subgenius initiative. You know, I've been on that Bob Time train for over a decade now, and there's people here at Hypercube that have been riding it longer than I have, and some people that are just now jumping on board. And another gracious sponsor of Hypercube. Shout out to Subgenius, Church of the Subgenius, subgenius.com.
Yeah. It's all well and fun until the guy starts coming
fun.
down through the car and he's checking for tickets. And who paid for a ticket? Who paid for a ticket? Have you got a ticket? Because if not, you're getting your ass kicked off the train. Oh, but we're going 50 miles an hour. We're out in the middle of fucking frozen Canada. Sorry, no ticket. You're off the train.
Now, you don't have to be a member of the Church of the Subgenius to be a Hypercubist.
He's absolutely wrong. You absolutely have to be a member. You have to have sent the money not only to the Church of the Subgenius, but then you have to send whatever remaining monies you have to Hypercube.
You know, I had something else I was going to go with, but I have to entirely agree with you. This is a Subgenius initiative. I think you can prove to me that you're ready to be a Hypercubist once you're good in Bob's eyes. Because Bob gave me the thumbs up on Hypercube. He actually gave me the thumbs up when Fid was here. Fid was here when Bob was here and gave us the thumbs up. And I'm
The
worried.
thumbs up where? Don't
that-
ask.
You can ask. It was straight up. My butt.
Now I do
Which
have
I
to ask-
paid for and I took because you know what? Bob's the man who keeps his nails trim.
I do have to ask one question. Does someone have to pay for their Subgenius? What's the word I'm looking for? Recognition.
Membership?
Not the membership.
An
but the
ordainment?
ordainment. Do they have to pay for the ordainment themselves, or can I just ordain someone without their permission?
Oh, you can retroactively
you can try,
ordain people.
You can try and do that, but here's the thing: Bob needs to whiff read the money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a sacred
So if the
loophole.
money doesn't come from them, it's not going to have their psychic stench.
Oh no, that's
And
fine.
so-
They paid me back for a loan. I took that money, and I ordained them with that money. And I mean, they're not happy about it, but they're ordained now.
Yeah, no, people do this all
Well,
the
that's kind
time
of a
where they
gray
like
area.
retroactively ordain people that are gay. They like retroactively baptize people that are gay.
There are plenty of latent subgeniuses out in the world today that have yet to pay. And this is a call to funds on the Church of the Subgenius. You know, get right with Bob at subgenius.com. And you get that ordainment. Now, of course, you know, you have Slack Friday that's coming up. I guess I might as well plug that. I don't know if anybody's going to be doing. I don't know if a certain Reverend Dr. Funny Guy out in Tejas. All I hope his buddy is okay. And there's a 2-for-1 deal around Black Friday. That's the Slack Friday sale. And I mean, usually I just keep both for myself, but occasionally I pass them along. And I've ordained other people, but there are other people that you can bring into the Church of the Subgenius that will. They won't ever get to even being a Bobby. Like you, if they resent you for it, which it sounds like they do, like they're disgusted with you. I think we're gonna have to say the P word, everybody. And it sounds like
Peas? The peas word? Don't say the peas word. Please don't say the peas word. We just got rid of him.
Oh, you're out. You're totally out, Dr. Fox. No, I can't hear you.
Oh, that's weird. Hold on.
Yeah, how did that?
Dr. Fox is disconnected at the moment. Give us a second here.
Yeah,
So-
technical difficulties
Oh,
in the
Dr.
cube.
Fox is solid. Let's all help him stand up.
Yeah, the thing
So-
is, you know, these
so
these
my
cores have been
understanding-
overheating all night.
Prop him
and,
back up.
Oh,
Yeah, the next thing you know, it turns out that you get like one key core failure, and then there's a cascading failure across the network. And the very next thing you know,
The
there
very
goes
next
Dr.
thing.
Fox.
The very
Yeah.
next
Oh,
thing
here he
that you
comes.
know.
Next
There
thing
we
you
go.
know.
I'm back.
We're
here
all
now.
here's the thing.
My
We are not about this
understanding-
cascading. We're about the cascading success.
That's right.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah,
I
it's a
want to hear
snowball.
Hazel's understanding.
oh, it doesn't matter. The subject has changed. That's usually what happens.
No,
Yeah, it
but
goes
I
kind of
like
fast.
your
Although I would,
understanding.
I'd make a motion on the floor to go back and
Oh.
hear Hazel's resolution.
Okay, yeah. So my understanding, and I may be completely incorrect on this matter, is that if you have ordained someone else, they do come onto the saucers with you. They
I've
get
heard
their
that,
seats.
yeah.
Now, it's up to them as to whether they enjoy being on the saucers or not. If they're a true subgenius and you have brought them aboard, they will quickly acclimate to life on the saucers, and it will be as if it was what they were born to. If they're not a true subgenius, it'll be obvious very soon, and you'll have, your own little pet or slave or plaything, to have with you.
That's kind of what I was looking at it like, is like, there's plenty of people I know probably won't enjoy life on the saucers of the sex goddesses. But I will enjoy watching them
it's not
enjoy it.
necessarily your pleasure that we're talking about on the pleasure saucer. Yeah, man, B, these saucers come down here, it's about their pleasure now, isn't it? You just paid $35 for the ticket.
And I'll get you
Wait,
in
how
for 40.
much? 35 clams? That is a lot of money for something that may not even be a window seat. Wait, so does it cost more to get window seats on the saucers? Or do you just have to be a true believer?
Well, you get triple your money back.
You know, there's well, no, that's if you fail to achieve an eternal salvation, because it obviously be your fault because you fucked up, and that starts leaning into somebody else's idea. But
yeah, I don't think you get to choose where your seat is, so your best bet is to purchase as many tickets as possible.
I'm hoping to be
that
inside
maximizes
my
the
seat.
probability that you will have a window seat.
I'm hoping to buy out the whole row, and by row,
Well, somebody
I mean
did send Stang
circle
$1,000 in cash to his P.O. box, which he gladly mentioned to everybody.
That's not unusual, actually. Back in my days, I used to go to X-Day drills in 96, 97. I would show up with like $100 or $200 and give it into Stang's hand. Rocknar showed up once with, I think, like $500 to $1,000 and plunked it into Stang's hand. This has been going on for years. I mean, it's all about the cash flow.
He's just very selective about when he talks about it.
Right. Well, he's had a lot of us go through the gates. Yeah, he's getting to the point where he can't remember all of us. Hell, he can't even recognize me when I show up to a damn event anymore.
Yeah, he remembers me because I'm the one that follows up behind him, nailing the nails the rest of the way into the platforms. Thank you, Dr. Trip Hazard Prevention Fox.
Nice.
Dr. OSHA over here.
Dr. OSHA.
Dr. Cosmac and I and Reverend 80 followed behind Stang for an entire X day as he commented on, I can't believe we used to let people in for free to do all this. Yeah, so if you survived an X day, which I guess can't say is a blessing, you do have me and Cosmac and Reverend 80 to thank. But I'm not in the movie.
I think those of us who have been there have all helped. I was when an idiot
Scoutbot, I'm
destroyed
sorry,
a
you're
microphone
cutting
stand.
out like crazy. Brent.
No, he's okay. He's okay. Keep going.
Okay, I will speak very slowly and clearly. I was there in the past when an asshole got on stage and destroyed one of his microphone stands. And then myself and others contributed, and I went and bought him a new microphone stand during the event. So we have all, in one way,
during the event?
Yes.
During the event, you
at
left
Brushwood.
You left.
I left Brushwood.
You
and
got a
drove
microphone stand.
far away to buy a microphone stand and bring it back to Brushwood.
That
Nice.
was a microphone stand.
What did you do, Dr. Fox?
I'm not in the movie.
I'm
Neither am I. Suck it up.
Who would want to be in the movie?
I think I know.
I thought the movie was
It's
for
not
pinks
about.
and
But here's the
normals.
thing. It's not about wanting to be in the movie. It's the kind of notion of
you
being
don't want to be in
excluded from the the
Oh, I wouldn't
because
sweat
it
that
was,
at all.
It was
I'd wear that
well,
as a
it was
badge
X
of
Day
pride.
Eve, 2 or maybe even 3 X days ago, that I happened to take the Bob robot that Dr. Legume had built 20 years prior and had been at every X Day. And in the middle of the night, in a drug-fueled frenzy, dragged that Bob by the rope around his neck and chucked him in the fire pit while no one else was around. And then I wandered off and disappeared into an anxiety-fueled evening of pure paranoia
And LSD.
And LSD.
I don't I didn't remember the Bob burning bit. I think I remember that night though, because you woke me up at like 7 a.m. and told me that everybody was hiding from you in the woods.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That they were planning to get me. They were coming
or
to get
that
me.
I think you said they'd all left. everyone had either left or was hiding in the woods because they didn't want to be around you.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, I think they're still hiding.
Yeah, they're all still there. You know, they thought I was coming back this year.
It's like some Viet Cong member 30 years later. He doesn't know the war is over.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Cosmac and I had built a cross for all of us bald white guys in white lab coats to stand around and burn. And,
are you white?
So
are you bald?
Now,
consider joining the Church of the Subgenius.
It's a great opportunity. You'll meet many similar-looking individuals.
Nice scraggly beard you got there, Dr. Fox.
Are you a fid loosely? But yeah, I threw Bob in the fire and wandered off and was fearing death upon sunrise, and I can't remember who all. Yeah, like that was the thing, as I was kind of explaining somewhat in my frenzied state how I thought I was going to be murdered in a matter of minutes, like at sunrise. I went back by the fire later, and people, Animal and Dr. Shoggoth and others, were roasting hot dogs over the fire, completely unaware that the charred coat hanger skeleton of the Bob robot was in the rubble before them. And I made it to sunrise, and Dr. Cosmac asked me, "You gonna be okay?" And I'm like, "I gotta take a walk." And I walked to the other end of Wisteria, and I met up with Dr. Legume, who I had found during that evening that he was the one that built that Bob robot. And I approached him in his loincloth as he was smoking a cigar, and he wrapped his entire arm around my neck and choked me and said, "You are so badass," and talked about how he wanted that dummy burned every year for 20 years. And as I moved my way up from the clown tent with Andrew the Impaled, Legume, and David Apocalypse, most people just now learning what has happened, but not truly revealing to me that they know what has happened. Because Onan, who was there that year, caught the whole thing on tape and was going around showing it to everybody. And I make it up to the Uberfem camp, where I believe Fenord and Miss Teschmacher was. And I can't remember if Doc Atrocity was there or not. But they had henna tattoos on their arms, because before I threw Bob into the fire to kill him, I had asked the pirate in the trifold hat to please move his percolator away from the fire, to which he gladly obliged before I flung Bob ass first into the blaze and pulled the rope around his neck into my face, and I watched that stupid pipe melt out of his mouth and his eyes roll back into his head.
Stupid mouth.
And his face
his stupid eyes
melted
and his stupid face.
off his big stupid head.
Coat hanger, stupid.
I looked into the melting face of Bob Dobbs that I was killing.
And then the melting face of Bob Dobbs looked back.
And I walked away. And so now the Uberfems have henna tattoos of percolators and Dr. Fox quotes on their arms. And Legume walks me up to the cafe at Wisteria, where they have taken the skeleton of Bob and put him in a sun hat and a Dr. Fox in the Right Angles t-shirt. And I'm saying him, it's no him anymore. This is the remains, the charred and still smoking remains of J.R. Bob Dobbs's corpse in a Dr. Fox shirt and a hat. And Dr. Cosmac looks at me and says, Stang's pissed. And then he said, I'm just joking. And that was at the time that I sat down at a picnic table and the film crew shows up. And they have their cameras and their mics and their little mobile rigs to go with them. And she asks Stang, the director of the movie, asks Stang, where's Bob? To which I immediately begin laughing so hard, I'm crying and convulsing in the gravel on the ground, completely relieved that the subgeniuses all around me do not want to rape and murder me. And the film crew's entire day of planning has been shot because they tried to expect something to happen at X Day. So I killed Bob firsthand. I have to admit it because of the not very puzzling video evidence.
And yet you got off scot-free.
And I got off scot-free, but I'm not in the movie. Because when they were filming, I was back in my tent crying heavily for the next 8 hours in a sleeping bag filled with Reverend 80s cum.
Yeah, that sounds
like
honest.
a fair payment.
Yep.
I will sleep in your dirty cum sock, your giant dirty cum sock.
Because anyone that knows Reverend 80 knows
if it
that
means
was a dirty,
that
dirty sleeping
I
bag.
get to kill Bob. And so yeah, I'm not in the movie.
I'm not in the movie. Dude, nobody should be in the movie.
Cosmac's
the
in
only
it.
person that should be in the movie
Cosmac
is
the
Bobby.
first subgenius in the movie. Surprisingly enough.
And even Cosmac's not even in the movie.
No true subgenius in that movie.
Yeah, the first subgenius in air quotes.
Well, it just means
That's
we
right.
have to
That's
make.
why the rest of us
you
who
know,
aren't in there are
Stang
the
has been talking for
genius.
years. When they make the big subgenius movie and they get Johnny Depp to play J.R. Bob Dobbs, and finally he settles for a documentary. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, settles.
When we make the real subgenius movie, which you can finance at Hypercube at patreon.com.
Then there will be real subgeniuses in it.
Yeah, we'll put the real ones, the good ones in it, and that'll be the movie that no one watches. But
Yep,
you know what?
The way it should be.
It's the real one.
Yep. Only one way to keep it legit is to keep it out of the Bobby's hands.
But yeah, Stang told me if Onan hadn't gotten footage of it, and that I hadn't looked like a deranged lunatic looming over a melting corpse in a fire, it'd be different. But yeah, I haven't been the past couple years. But now it's time to start talking about Flex Day and getting a subgenius-oriented event going on down here in the Southeast. The Southeast is alt-right with me.
If it's alt-right with you, it's alt-right with me.
Well, it's October now. Hypercube Orthogonal Alignment Day, October 24th.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Well, we're a year away from the next one. And it happens to be on a Saturday. So I'm looking into some places to try and get a 3-day weekend down here. And it's in the off-season when airline tickets are affordable. And
Did you think about Mosquito Lagoon?
And we need a specific kind of location. You say Mosquito Lagoon to me, and there's only two ways I can go with that. Is be like, yes, there is a body of water nearby.
That is a real place.
Or the real place, Mosquito Lagoon, which I would then say, no, I didn't call them because they're not the kind of place we want to go.
Or, the Rainbow Gathering
all right,
people
okay,
always have some place up in
I sent
Ocala.
an email out to. Well, I didn't want to go anywhere near
Ocala is
where they were
so-
burying their feces.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
return their souls to Mother Earth.
God, rainbow gathering.
The camera's off,
Yeah,
but
can
my
I
eyes
just-
are rolling in
Can I
the back
just
of my
blind
head.
eye the entire rainbow gathering
Yes,
right now?
you may. Did you get that one? But it's
Yeah.
done right
I'm
there. I
blind
think that
eyeing
was
it,
a
yeah.
quick period right there. There's the Burning Man after burn and pre-burn events that happen down here, and it's a piece of private property here in Florida, just north of Orlando, about 2 hours north of Orlando, I think. And I'm waiting.
Ocala.
I don't know if that's where it's at.
That's where all the rainbow gathering people
It's not,
are.
but
They're
it's
in
not.
Ocala.
It's not at the Rainbow Gathering location.
Ocala
I sent him an
National Forest
email,
is a big place.
so we have to wait. And you know how long it can take private property owners to get back to you on emails. But we're looking
Forever.
at stuff. And Dr. Crash has been helping out, and he's got
Dr.
two
Crash.
locations. We have 2 Dr. Locrations that he has said that we can go check out, and he wants to take me out to one of them to meet the people.
He's probably got some good connections too.
But we're talking about cult rituals here, and I'm sorry,
well,
the KOA.
you don't mention that in the
just-
email. You just say it's a
But
festival.
the difference being, well, and it's hard to have a festival at the KOA, at the KKKOA.
Yeah, KKKOA. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I'm working on it, so it's flowing.
So next year,
That's what I'm hoping for.
next October 24th.
I would hope, and shout out to Martha Artha for her new AstroTurf level join, and Reverend Scalpod has joined Trenchy and Dr. Cosmac at the Oxtail and Vodka level.
Very nice.
On top of
you guys are taking care of Hypercube,
on
and you're
top
doing
of Agent
Bob's
Lloyd's
work.
joining this month, and so I'm waiting on that
Yeah,
big
good
refresh.
gerb.
The Patreon can't even handle how much traffic you guys are blowing onto it right now. It's giving me the old numbers. It's 16 Patreons. So we've got, I think somebody joined.
You gotta hit the refresh button.
It's refreshing. It won't stop. It won't stop. Because we were at $91 earlier with the other. But, yeah.
If you broke 100, then you're looking good.
If we get to 100 a month, that's pretty flashy.
Although
yo.
150 a month is where you really want to be.
That is
for
where we
the,
want to be. That's where I want to be. That's where you want me to be.
Yep, I'm your executive producer. So that's exactly where I want you to be.
Thank you, Daddy23.
Yeah, say it again.
Daddy23.
Oh, I just like hearing it.
I'll give you the better ones when we're off the air.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Some of this has to be, exclusive.
Yeah.
That's what makes it valuable.
We'll record it and publish it for the Patreons.
Sell it to them. Sell it to the Patreons.
Well,
In
no, the
light of
general
your
idea is you
recent
wanna just
comments
sell it at a
regarding
higher
how you
level than
feel
what they're
about
already at.
support among subgenii, how are you feeling? Guru Drew is referring to something I dropped in the serious chat a couple days ago, which was a short dissertation on how my feels are. And
you got some feels?
I wasn't really looking for any feedback. It was just kind of an E/N, if you know what I'm saying, just kind of dropping that off. I can tell you, when it comes to the hypercom, you guys, and I use that term broadly.
Yeah, guys means girls. And also neutral, and also everybody else, whatever.
I can say, yeah, my friends are in the hypercom. I haven't really gotten those feelings from a lot of people in the hyper. And when I think of, and I look through who's here, you know what? I'll say 1 or 2 of you in the hypercom might be who I was talking about. And even then, you're doing better. You're doing better. But, yeah, I've been feeling better recently. But old Dr. Fox has had a long ride on the shit train.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough time here
on
recently.
the hell wagon to Fucktown for the past year. And we're seeing it looks like the revolving door is getting ready to start spinning, which it makes sense for me because I have to get up tomorrow and go somewhere, which I won't tell you where, but I have a feeling you can know. This has been a good post show anyway. But this is good stuff. And yeah, the people here in Hypercom, you guys are my friends. You're not supporters, you are friends. You're not Patreons, you're friends. And if there's anything you can do to let me know what I can do for you, it's super easy. Just send me a private message and I'll give you my PayPal. It's that easy. The more you pay, the easier it is for me to like you. That's
pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty much it. With that, thank you again to all the Patreons, to Hazel the Windmill, Scourgery for the PayPal ads tonight, Martha Artha, Agent Lloyd, Trenchy, Scalpod for upping on that ante at the Patreon. Scalpod and Cosmic as usual, Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha over at Freethink Radio hosting this stuff. They pay for a SOCAN license. I've done my begging for the year. I'm set. So now you got another $1 coming in. Please throw it over to Freethink Radio. Help Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha, get a little bit of that slack back for getting that SOCAN license and the server fees on top of that. Thanks to everybody that tuned in on the YouTube feed and reinforcing that. Thank you again to Reverend Stang and Philo Drummond of the Church of the Subgenius that regularly has replayed episodes of Time for the Show on the Hour Slack and constantly retweet me on Twitter next to their radio show posts. Really appreciate that. Dr. Negative's new show Thursday starts at 10:30 with music and more stuff after that. Kitchen Table. Join the Freethink Radio Discord to get more on that. You can support without giving a dime by going to timefortheshow.com and clicking the subscribe button. Follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, on Stitcher. Follow us on Facebook.com/timefortheshow, Twitter at timeforthetweet, and send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Hypercube Labs, P.O. Box 4304, Winter Park, Florida 32793. Email at timefortheshow.com. My name is Dr. Fox. On behalf of the Hypercube Laboratories, that's me and my wife. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for hanging in for another post show. Thank you for supporting truly independent farce. Good night, everybody.